DJ Pauly G and Ether are your hosts. So pop on the headphones and turn the volume all the way up. It's time for the Business Television TBTV's The Plug. Now we're live.
Now we're live. The microphones are on. Hey.
What's good in the hood? My name is DJ Pauly G.
It's your boy Ethan.
And I'm Bob.
Good to see all of you again on TBTV's The Plug. Thank you so much for joining us and tuning in on this fine, beautiful, depending on where you're at, day we have outside. I mean, I don't want to make anybody jealous, but I know we got people tuning in from other areas. It's fucking gorgeous outside right now. It's going to be
even warmer tomorrow, man.
I'm not doing that whole lame, like, start the show with the weather pitch. Okay, but I just had to. I'm literally trying to make you jealous. That being said, thank you once again so much for tuning in. If you guys don't know what's going on here, TBTV's The Plug is a platform that we've created for all original artists to share their music and collab with other artists and just kind of get tips and advice on how to do different things. Between the three of us here, we have quite a bit of music experience. Between everybody else in the audience usually tuning in, we have some really, really great musicians in the audience that love tuning in and rating this show. Ether, what do we do on this show here?
All we do, man, it's pretty simple. Main.
All we do,
it's pretty simple. We get call upon original musicians, local and across the world, throughout the internet, to send in their music, original songs. We listen to them, we review them, and we rate them.
I also, any input you guys have, I hope our voices are coming through pretty clear here.
Yeah, we
went through like a 5-hour sound check today, trying to fix everything.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was weird. Yeah. It got weird. We bust out the warm milk. Things, hands started flying around.
Next thing you know,
it got odd. But listen, we hope not to revisit that as much as we possibly can. So if you guys, if we do sound foggy or something like that, let us know.
Yeah, please.
That way we can fix it. So the way we do this show is we get a bunch of submissions. We've got a ton today. Yes, we get them every single time. We carry over the ones that we have from prior shows over to these shows. We don't have a huge list of those, which I'm happy about. We've kind of whittled that down a little bit on the last couple shows because we didn't advertise for submissions for one time to just kind of catch up.
Yeah.
At this point, we are pretty good, man. We're flush with tracks. We're excited. We're gonna play these tracks, okay, and then we're gonna kind of stop them intermittently. Two reasons. One, so we don't get flagged by Facebook.
Yes.
Two, so we can kind of give a comment on what we're hearing so far. We try not to do it too much, but it worked on the last episode.
Yeah.
We're on this never-ending battle to try to combat Facebook from blocking content that we're literally allowed to use, and try to get a hold of Zuckerberg. I dare you. You'll waste endless and countless hours. So we stop the songs in between. After that, we all kind of do our take on it, and then we rate it. We rate it from 0 to 10, like Ether said. We want you guys to do the same thing, man. Let us know in the comment section what you think of the song. But the main thing is be respectful. Got to be respectful. Yes. Bob, I know you're the dreary one. Why don't you touch up on respectfulness?
What do you mean?
How to be respectful. So if you're on the show, comment how you be respectful.
Sure, yeah. I mean, basically we go 1 to 10, 10 being best, 1 being worst. But we, just for the effort of putting an original song together, we usually go at least a 2.
It's not easy, man.
So, But I mean, I'd say our average scores range in the 5 to 6 range for something that's above average. But,
I mean, average being 5, 6 being above average, 7. We can give 0.5s. We always say 0.5s. Don't be like 6.1. Right. That's some weird shit. It's rookie stuff. That being said, we're not here to just tear apart your songs. We're not here to just rate everything. We want to literally hear good music, new music that you've created. Hashtag no covers, man. Hashtag no covers, okay?
Can't do covers.
That being said...
Then we are using somebody else's music and we don't have permission to. So.
Yeah. You got to make sure that you're okay to send in. Don't just start sending in songs by submission, being like, I want to hear this. This isn't a fucking radio station. It is The Plug, and that's what we do. We plug your music. That being said, 7 being really, really above average. I mean, that's a really good song as a 7. So when we give out scores and we say you got a 7 and you go, a 7, isn't that like a D? No, that's like a B plus to me. Yeah. I mean, that's a really good song. 8s is like really high. That's about our average really good song. Like some of the best songs we hear get 8s and 8.5s.
What if we did eventually transition to an A, B, C, D?
Maybe so.
You mentioned that a while back.
I don't know.
But maybe
this shit makes me feel like a teacher, and I don't like it. I'm like, yes, this is an 8. I don't know. 9s and 10s are kind of reserved. I mean, because we're going to give you guys a real rating. We want to rate from the top to the bottom, right? We don't want to go with your local artist who everybody loves. Give them a 9 or a 10 because that's not it's not truthful. If we're putting Jimi Hendrix, Prince, Mariah Carey, name the Hudson Falcons.
The Hudson Falcons.
The Hudson Falcons are a punk band, but they're pretty badass.
They're really good.
If we're putting them up here, I mean, obviously,
I mean, and if you're metal, then it's Metallica. We're talking.
And we do get high scores. We've given out 9.5s. Nobody's ever given out a 10 on the show yet. I don't think. I think Ether did as a joke and then backed it to a 9.5.
Well, no, that was the one that I gave. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't think I gave a 10 for sure, but 9.5. Zach gave one the other day a 10.
Yeah, that's what it was, Zach. Speaking of Zach, okay, so let me wrap this up so we can actually get to our special guest.
Yes,
so once again, if you like what you're seeing on the content of the show, we do accept donations, and they are no way required or demanded of you, but it is tough out here for a DJ these days, man. But we're not back to work yet. We're not gigging. We're frozen now.
The
we're
gigs
good.
have not been piling up.
Well, I mean, they're there, but we just can't get back to work
can't,
yet.
yeah.
That being said, any and all donations are very much appreciated. If you want to bump yourself up in the line, let's say you. Yes, you. I'm talking to you right there. You see? Yeah, no, not him. You. Okay? Not that guy. I don't know that guy. I don't like him.
He's
okay?
weird.
He's got a very vague face.
Yeah, don't trust him.
Yeah, just a very beige face. I don't like it.
Beige.
Beige is that's not a racist. That was not what I meant.
No, it's just like the blandest color you can find.
But that being said, you can send in your submissions to Ethan Eicher 1992real@gmail.com. I wonder when Ether was born. You think it's 1992?
Well, I know he's like 47, so...
Yeah, he was born in 1973.
He's reincarnated. He's not even a real person.
The 80s were bopping.
He's actually an immortal. That being said, if you would like to bump yourself up in the list, all you got to do is send us a donation anywhere between $5 to $25 to get you bumped up in the list. And let me be clear about how the donations work, okay? Because somebody goes, well, if you don't have any donations and I send in $5, that should be good enough to get me next. It's not the way it works, man. We got people in line. So $5 will get you bumped up a bit. But if you want to get bumped up to the top, like top 3-ish, you got to throw about $25. If you want to get next for sure, you got to throw $30.
Right, and this is made to combat, some people don't get played even though they did have chronological order, and then we
we don't want to make this pay to play,
No, it's not. And these are all donations. So once again, you don't have to do any of this. You can literally just put your song in, and we'll get to it. You just got to keep tuning into TV the plug, and we'll get to your song. I promise. However, if you'd like to expedite that, oh yeah, of course. Just let's bring in our friend here. Okay, toss a coin to your witcher, as we like to say.
Okay, Bigsby, open up the freaking TV.
Open up the portal. There he is. Hey, who's that guy right there?
What's
okay,
up, y'all?
We do. Hey, Zach, can you move your camera down just a tad, like downward?
Oh,
just a little bit. Yeah, just a tad. There you go. Better. All right, that should be good. Now back out. Perfect. Now we can see your face.
Wow.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I want to do this with Zach first before I give him his intro. Zach, do you have a drink handy as well?
Oh, I do.
Nice. I'm glad to see that. All right. This is what we call social distance drinking, ladies and gentlemen. This is a cheers to you and yours during these tough times. We like to have a little drinky poo.
Cheers, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
All right. God, that's delicious. How can you say no to Crystal Light and shitty vodka?
I mean, really the Midwestern way of life.
It's like shitty. It's like the not name brand ketchup.
Yeah,
just delicious.
It has a romanticism to it.
It's someone behind my camera being a piece of shit.
It's. I saw that too.
Nice pants, loser.
Yeah, welcome to the studio.
This isn't that 70s shit, Jackie.
Oh, that was hilarious. All right. Here's the way it works. We have a special guest. That's the way it works. And our special guest is none other than Zac Conger. He's a musician. He's an acoustic artist. He's been in the industry for I don't even know how many years. Also, he's the drummer for Camp Comfort, one of our awesome local bands here. They're doing big things. Zac, how are you doing today, buddy?
Super well, man. I fucking just started investing in the stock market.
Hey.
I mean, it's small time and I'm new, but it's
time to diversify that portfolio.
Yeah, might as well. Fuck.
Yeah, see, he was talking to me about this earlier, and it just gets me jazzed up, man. It's like the safe way of gambling. I don't know if it really actually is, but it's the classy way, if nothing else, man.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're smart and you know your stuff, it's not really gambling.
Stocks, people are like, ooh, even though it's just gambling.
Just bring it up in the middle of a dinner party. You'd be like, hey, listen, I have stocks and bonds that have been going up and down all day. It's just been, and people are like, wow, this man's classy.
But the great part about, about it is that it's not exactly like gambling because at least there's trends that are set that you can see, especially with all this disaster shit.
We've all seen Wolf on Wall Street.
It's like, what?
Yeah,
obviously going to be in demand, a month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of...
Very much
and then there's
so.
Consistent, like, companies like Facebook and stuff like that you throw into, and it's more like a savings, but if it does go up, good, and if it goes down, it's not going to be bad.
You were saying that, too. You were saying you were putting your money into safer stuff. That's a very, very good... It's not gambling if you know what you're doing. I think that's with everything, I mean...
Which I don't yet, but I'm learning.
I feel the same way when I'm flipping cars like some, like...
you just got to watch the market, man. If you keep your eye on the market, you actually are vigilant about it, and you pay attention... You're going to do good.
If you buy something, you know enough about it, you can flip it for profit. That's kind of what stocks is. I mean, it's good stuff. Zach, what else is Zac Conger been up to, man? I've been seeing you quite a bit, obviously. Yeah. But what about Camp Comfort, man? Give us the ins, man. Very, very popular local band, but just doing big stuff, man. This band is fantastic.
So with all the distancing and everything, I know everyone's like, we're opening up here and all that, but we do want to be cautious, especially because entertainment still isn't allowed in any of these places.
Exactly.
Right.
We're trying to, just make sure that we're cautious for the people we care about and following, standards maybe a little longer than even is required, just so that we're being good to the fans and stuff. Because that's who we're really doing it for.
I like how you put required in quotes.
We don't exist without people who like what we do.
He was like the things that are required in these things. No, I totally understand you. I mean, so what are you guys up to, man? Any projects you guys are working on? What's the plan?
So... Dude, it's kind of a weird thing because we're so separated. Like, as you know, like you were saying, I play acoustic guitar and sing and songwrite too. So I've been messing around, making some stuff up, seeing if we can bring it in. Nevada's been writing a couple songs. We were actually together, me, him, and Johnny, at a safe, 10-foot distance the other day in a garage.
You guys don't need to be close together. Come on.
No, not at all, especially because we play loud instruments. But we were together the other day and working on something new Nevada was doing, which is really cool. And Johnny actually made a bass line for it, which was...
all right. I've seen Johnny play bass, man. Johnny's he's unbelievably talented, man. He really does.
And he can play drums actually pretty well, too.
Johnny's one of those savants, man. He just does everything.
Yeah. Well,
you hand him a fucking xylophone. You hand him a xylophone, he's going to play it. Yeah. And you're going to be like, wow, when'd you learn that? He's like, just now.
Right.
So what about other stuff in the Zac Conger world? I mean, not to give you the longest intro ever, but are you doing anything with acoustic stuff right now? You working on any projects? You just solely focused on Camp Comfort? And,
solely focused on Camp Comfort. That was my plan. I made an exact plan once leaving the 445 downtown last year, and then getting offered a spot in Camp Comfort. My plan is to make sure that's my main focus, at least for 2 years after my joining. I'm about 7 or 8 months right now, but. Not that I will ever venture off and make something else more important. It is my main operation, my main goal. Being a live entertainer and in the music industry has always been my favorite thing and what I want to do, and that's my dream to do that for my life and for my living.
Absolutely.
And then doing it with Camp Comfort is awesome because it brought me back into drums, which were actually my first instrument, and I played those since I was about 8 years old.
What was the okay? So you were. I don't want to be the one to say it because I love that band so much. What was the band you were in prior? It was a metal band.
A Grave Regard.
A Grave Regard.
Yeah, we were a metalcore band. That band was cool.
The band was awesome.
Yeah, it was super fun. It taught me a lot about drumming and technicality. It didn't teach me a lot about dynamics because in metalcore you're hitting real hard. I've learned a lot more. I knew about dynamics, but I actually spent a lot of time with a good friend of all of ours, Caleb Britton.
Right.
Just playing with Camp Comfort, learning more dynamic movement and less technicality and more pocket playing and simplicity that actually brings more of the rest of the song out and lets it breathe, which is... I
own drum, and I totally understood what you just said, man. That's good stuff. So in retrospect, I mean, obviously everything, you never regret anything, but is this more challenging for you because it's so much more in the limelight, or is it? What I mean, because like you said, back when you were in Grave Guard days, you were just kind of playing and just doing your thing. What about now? Like, is Camp Comfort putting any pressure on you? Is it making you think, okay, I got to practice new things, do new stuff? Like, I mean, what's in the mind of Zac Conger?
So yeah, it keeps me practicing and makes sure that I'm keeping up on new techniques and things that make. I don't want to say pop, but like more popular sounding style of music, more. Mass popularity style music, especially Camp Comfort. I was playing in a metalcore band. Let's be honest.
Right.
It's an underground style. Even with it blowing up as it did for a decade, like it's still not in the same light as what Camp Comfort is. So yeah, it does keep me practicing and keep me like up on newer techniques and things like that, which I love, and so that's not a bad thing. And as far as pressure goes, I don't feel much pressure. I love pressure though, and I want my life to be outside of my comfort zone as much as possible.
I couldn't agree more.
I've always thrived on that, and being I don't know, I can't remember who said this quote, but anyone who is an artist, an actor, DJ, anything that people observe and feel things about, and that they all have a very serious need for attention.
Right.
And take it however you want, interpret it your own way. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's just, a way of coping with your need for attention rather than being, a fucking crazy, monstrous, attention-seeking person.
Yeah, weirdo.
Posting
just
your
a
life all
weirdo,
over
just
Facebook,
jumping
blah, blah, blah.
into
I'd rather
people's
post,
parties.
hey, my band has a show, come watch us, and then have all of my friends and, fans come watch.
It's very refreshing to hear you say that.
Oh, man, I just broke up with someone today on Facebook.
A lot of people don't talk about music like that. I mean, that's actually very interesting. We're going to get started on the show, but I like what you just said, man. Basically, it's music has helped you cope with who you are at a core, and it's turned out for the better. Some way it's kind of harnessing your energy and putting it into something versus just letting it scatter about, wherever you're at. So that's awesome, man. Thank you so much for joining us on the show, Zach. Good friend of ours, obviously, for a long time. Yeah. Zach, you are familiar how the show works. You've been on here before. Yeah. Obviously, the rating scale is still the same. Everything's still the same. And
everybody gets a 0.
Yeah, everybody gets a 0, and then they have to get in the comment section and explain why that's unfair score.
Yeah.
No, that's not what we do.
That's absolutely not what we do.
Yeah, that would be a different show. And maybe we're on to something. I don't know.
You get a 2 just for having a song. Yep, and then. Yeah, I get it.
Perfect. All right, so Zach knows the deal. We have a lot of submissions. Zac Conger, ladies and gentlemen, do I have my things? Our special guest tonight. All right, so let's get going, man. One more time before we get started. I want to give a big round of applause. So I got Ethan right here. This is the man, the myth, the legend. He's over here behind the scenes doing everything and really making this possible. And really busted us out of our funk, so we're actually staying sane in this thing. And thank you so much, man. We love you to death, and you do a great job.
Yeah, I've been over here more than I've been over here in the last month and a half.
We have something to look forward to, man. We have something to get up in the morning
2
for.
years, and it's because the idea is an idea, and that's great. And I love you, Paul. I'm not taking away from it, but Ethan, you are the fucking man.
Yeah, I know it. You don't got to say anything to me. I absolutely know. You're like this is the gorgeous housewife over here.
Also, Bob's like one of my favorite people, and I've known him longer than I've known probably anybody I still hang out with. So I love the fuck out of you, Bob.
I mean, to be fair,
old punk kid.
Yeah, I was like.
To be
15.
fair, the moniker of gorgeous housewife was a compliment, and I realized what it sounded like afterwards. But you're the ride or die, man. We couldn't do this without you, man. Seriously. Let's get into it. Before I press the play button, let's real quick say plug everything you got, man. If you guys got stuff you want to plug, as long as it's music related or even just kind of artist related, some things go hand in hand. Right. We always say don't plug your '92 Taurus. That you're trying to sell. We don't want that.
Yeah, and since there's no licensing on this, let's plug Levi Shortbowl at Soul Purpose Tattoo.
Yeah, Soul Purpose Tattoo. Absolutely.
Things, friends, local community.
We are actually working on some other stuff too, man. We got an interview with Mark Lynn that's going to be in the future here. Mark Lynn of Cole and Press Start, and Nick Lynn will actually be on the show Monday. So Monday, Nick Lynn's going to be there on Monday, and the other one's going to be more with Mark. It's going to be more of an interview type thing because we have to sit down with him. He's a very busy man, but we're very excited about where this is going. So
speaking of
Adam's talking shit about your Arsenal jersey.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude! It was a gift. I don't watch. You know what's sad, Adam, is that you watch soccer. I'm kidding. Soccer, I guess.
So coming up on Friday, guys, we're going live again. We're doing it pretty much every other day except over the weekend. We have Alexander Moen coming up.
Alexander Moen, yes. Also a great friend of all of ours, and of course,
is he coming up and we're playing his music?
We're going to be a special guest on Friday.
Oh, cool!
Special guest on
Alex,
Friday.
I love you, bro.
Yeah, that's
cool.
That's the homie. That's the homie right there.
He's also a super old school homie, longer than you guys, and I love that guy.
I bet.
What's
one of the best people in the world?
So, we got Jake Johnson out there too. Jake Mitch Stafford.
Yes, sir.
Mitch Stafford, we're gonna have you back on soon, my guy.
Yes. Guys, be ready for that Alexander Moen thing.
We also have Zach Fireball Gibson from X Rock out here. on the radio here in South Dakota, Rap City.
Yep.
He's going to be on the show on Wednesday.
Nice.
So that'd be following
Wednesday?
obviously, yeah. But and then hopefully we can get Mitchell back on soon, man. We want to get everybody as much as possible. We just didn't want to have the Brady Bunch thing on the screen where it's like 7 guests on the one show.
House
Invite you
party.
guys
I've been
soon,
there.
man.
I'm looking up at Mitchell like, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah,
Hey,
he's like, "Oh, yeah, let's go."
Reminds me
and
of-
he's looking down like, I don't
That's okay.
know.
We can sit there and look like we're looking at Zach. Like, how are you doing back there, Zach? Am I looking
Yeah.
at him or no?
I think,
look like
yeah,
that?
it does.
Yeah,
It
it
does
does.
look like you are.
Your face.
Yeah, like touch him. There you go. How's that feel? All right. You know what? Feel better
let's
is
get
if we
that-
play
let's
some
get
music.
this
Yeah.
thing going.
Let's get it started.
Next up, the song is called "Open Your Mind" by the
Open
band
Your Mind.
Rockstead.
Rockstead.
Let me just check real quick. I didn't put Rocksteady, did I? I did put Rocksteady.
You guys did the Rockstead.
I wanna rock.
All right. Once again, send your submissions to Ethan Eicher, 1992 Real.
We need to get Alex
At
Moon to send in
gmail.com.
a song, dude. He has some tight
I've invited
stuff.
him to do so. He's has not yet.
I want to hear
done it.
Secret
Nick Lynn's
Sadness,
actually coming out with a new album, so we're gonna get to play some of his stuff on the show. But let's get this one in here.
Let's go.
Rockstead. First song.
Longest
Let's
intro
go.
ever.
Mind.
I get this feeling in my bones. It's nothing like I've ever known. Next thing I know, I lose control of my mind, my body, and my soul. Life's too short to close your eyes. It's too long to live a life. It makes me empty all the time, like the bottle. You've got to find that silver line that hides behind these dark and cloudy skies. So open up your mind. You won't believe what you can't find. Maybe I may lie. Find your
Real quick, we're going to pause it real quick and just kind of reflect. I like the tone of it. There's something happening here. We can't tell, and we think it is because we have all our stuff dialed in pretty well. It sounds like a little bit of a thin track, real thin.
Yeah, I
you
don't
know,
know
that
if
doesn't sound like
that's
there's much
on
meat
our
and potatoes to it.
end
Like, yeah, I don't know if that is or
I'm
not.
thinking that's our monitor.
I think it might be our
'cause
monitors.
were
It might
testing
be
out
the
earlier,
monitor,
and,
yeah, because
we're having that.
Well, it's the first track, and we're going to listen to more of it. But so far, I like it, man. I mean, I like the melodic stuff, and I like the voice over top. It's foggy. It's nice.
For sure. Now, if you guys are hearing the same thing we're hearing, if you're not hearing any bass or anything, please let us know how the sound is. You know?
Yeah.
Yep. First stop. All right, let's get back into it.
Keep it rolling.
Until my body hits the ground.
Hey, if it sounds good, show some love in the comments section, and let's get some ratings.
You can have it, got it, you can got it, and you gotta get the notion, just be open like the ocean. You gotta get the feeling that you're stealing from the real. The body side of life, the body sort of life. Take it, you can take it through the sadness, still will break it every time you give them money. Your mind has been awakened all the time, I get the feeling you're not alone. Yeah, so open up your mind. You won't believe what you can't find. Maybe I may lie. Find your color and shine. May you believe it. to turn this world around. I'm living till my body hits the ground. Darkness, lead your mind into the light. All is fine if life can harness what love finds. You love this life, you'll be alright. So open up your mind. You won't believe what you can find. Lay on the line. Find your colors, let them shine. Lay over in in the waters you can drown. It's time to turn this world around. I'm living till my body hits the ground.
All right, name of the band
The
again?
name of the band was Rockstead with the
Rockstead.
track "Open Your Mind."
Open your mind.
I
like
loved
it.
it, man. I loved it.
Sound. I mean, it really. So it beefed up a little bit towards the end. There, I noticed that we got a little more sound out of it at the end. So I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to see if our next tracks come up.
So
Every episode is always something.
If that's well, I mean, if it's us. I mean, who knows? That being said, I dug it as well, man. We were talking about it's very 311-ish. Zach, what was your takeaways?
I don't know how to describe this one. It felt ongoing, which I kind of like in a lot of songs, depending on what I'm doing. And I know this is weird, but I mean, we all like play our music based on how we're moving and how we're living. So I would listen to that on a road trip, especially when I'm getting sick of looking at the same long interstate over and over and stuff like that.
Enough of those.
I might even that might even be a morning shower song. But
So, what was one thing you liked, one thing you hate?
I liked the consistent comfortability of the song. I know it sounds weird, but
No, I get exactly what you're
It
saying.
was pretty straightforward and cool rocking drums. Nothing. I can't say anything great about it dynamically. Like, it didn't have a lot of up and down. But I mean, if that's not what they were going for, then it came out perfect.
Sure. What's one thing you hated?
One thing I hated.
Hate's
and
a
this
strong word.
and hate is a strong word.
Hate's,
Well,
I would say hate.
One thing I might have disliked, and I don't even know if it's our monitor, like we were saying, if it's our monitor or if it's the actual track itself, like after its production. But I didn't like the lack of attack and feel, and like it sounds like it was just quiet.
Right.
Like I didn't hear any bass or any low end at all, and then the mids were like the only thing that I really heard coming through, even when there were like high parts on like the guitar with like a higher end frequency. It just was like not. It was so drowned out by the whole. Right.
Yeah.
It's all in that same exact tone and level. And
well, Bob, you were saying something
tone's
before.
wrong, same level.
What's the things you liked and the things you hated? One thing you like, one thing you hate.
Oh, I like the style of the song, definitely. I mean, it was a good, good rock and roll, just feel good. It was a good beat and a good song. It was maybe a little little bit long.
Yeah. Close to 5 minutes, wasn't it? How long was it?
I think it was somewhere close to
Somewhere close to 5 minutes. That's a little long.
It's
I mean, songs like that, I give a
Yeah,
little bit less of a.
5 minutes 37 seconds. So it was pretty long.
Yeah,
5 minutes,
if you
37, so
chop
5.5
that down to,
minutes.
like,
That's
4 minutes,
Yeah.
like
3.5.
3.5, 4 minutes.
I'm a 3.5 to 4 minute guy too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about how long you last.
That's more or less.
3.5, 4 minutes, bud. That's all I got,
Shit.
right?
Mitch is
I
saying,
got
I got
myself.
places to be.
Mitch is saying there's definitely no low end.
Yeah, so I don't
Okay,
know if
and that could be the
okay.
track. We'll play the next one. We'll see how it goes. Well,
yeah, if
so-
that's
If
on
anything,
our
we'll have to
end.
switch a chord.
is that the only thing you disliked? I mean, I guess that's kind of a given because that could be us.
The only other thing I disliked would be the recording quality wasn't great, and again, I don't know if it's our speaker or the track itself, but
Yeah.
the low end was just
Wasn't
very,
there.
very lacking.
Either one thing you liked, one thing you didn't like.
Yeah, I think I thought it was a great song. Just in general, man, it was relieving to hear, or refreshing rather, to hear actual freaking jam break. You don't get a lot of those enough anymore. I mean, I understand because it was 5 minutes long. I thought that type of break is necessary in a lot more music, and they take them out of mainstream music because they want songs to be 3 minutes
Right.
when it's on the radio. So
Don't bore us, get to the chorus.
I like that.
that's
I like
how it
that.
That's a Tom Petty quote.
Right.
Is it really?
And he's a fucking
I'm
hit
gonna
writer,
use it.
you know
I'm
what I
gonna
mean?
use it a lot now. That's something.
But that's one thing I did enjoy about it. They weren't afraid to take that risk, and they actually had the mindset to go ahead and do that and do it talented. The solo, was pretty fucking good. Geez Louise.
Yeah, that was a 6.
Well, and there's the thing is it didn't come through. It doesn't feel like it was like
Like a powerful solo, yeah.
just because
I
yeah.
thought it was
I,
I'm almost 100% that either a monitor or.
Well, we'll find out in a minute. I'm
The
gonna
mix just
I'm gonna
felt
start on
weird.
this too.
One thing I hate though.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were about that.
I did think it was a bit generic. It was standard in the form of arrangement for rock and roll. It was standard for the actual chord usage, and pretty much the solo itself was generally standard of what is classified as good rock and roll music. And that's one thing I didn't like. I didn't feel like there was enough creativity to dive down.
That's fair. I'm gonna go in ahead and say that damn the production. I'm not even gonna touch base on that until we know what's happening. However, it was good. I like the sound effects. The thing I liked best about it was the melody, like the melody and the voice and the way to connect those and harmonize with yourself and with the music at the same time was really good. That guy's got a very good voice. It's very and everything was kind of warm, And with it was really good. The thing I didn't like was the length. Obviously, it's a little too long. It didn't seem like it with songs like that because it's a good song. It's a good track. It's more bubbly. It's more fun. It's like sunshine music. Like that's some shit I would listen to at the out at a picnic with some homies at the lake. You know what I mean? Like that's that's boating music.
yeah.
I dig that. Depending on who you are, obviously. I mean, if you don't listen to shit,
No,
like
that's
that,
totally
still
that is
got
totally
that
a boating at the lake
boating,
song.
yeah, for
straight
sure.
up.
You're out there on a boat. You're hanging out, drinking beers. I mean, that's a song I hear.
Throw that on to get it started. Throw
In
out
that
some
respect,
fucking reels.
I
And,
loved it. The thing I didn't like though
The
was kind of
Offspring
the
after.
length. I mean, just it's just a little lengthy. I'm not going to knock you on that, and I'm also not going to knock you on production for the score. And if it is indeed your production, shave your own score later.
Yeah.
Shave it down a little
and,
later.
I mean, the biggest
I'm not
thing
going to
that-
vote. I'm not going to rate you on production.
once again, when I am on here, I just want to reiterate that you are the artist, and we're just people with
of course.
opinions. But yeah, I agree with the length thing, though. Very.
We'll
long.
start it off. Zach, give it a round of ratings. What do you got?
So I'm gonna give it a 6, and I just want to say this: I'm gonna give it a 6, and if our monitor
Well, give it the score you give it without the
without any of the
the
mix,
track. The
that's
track,
so
yeah.
important to me. Okay,
And you just said monitor, so now they know
that's tough,
they know you're in the studio. Great job, Zach.
I've said it 100 times already. Of course, they know I'm here.
Yeah, he's
All right,
just right over there. Like,
That's fair. We did have a whole fiasco earlier. All right, so let's say without the monitor, what'd you give it?
I'd give it a 6.
Give it a 6. Even without the monitor issues.
If you had the bass and low
Yeah,
end,
that's what it
everything's
is.
present and stuff.
All right. Yeah, Ethan, what you got?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not delving too far away from there. I'm imagining that there is low end in that, and I'm 6.5. 6.5 for that atmosphere, for that break, man.
I'm gonna give it 7, and if the production's bad, you need to knock yourself down to a 5.5.
Right. If the actual song.
I'm gonna give it a
sounds
7. Bob, what do you give it?
I'm going to go ahead and give it a 6. It was
6.
a little bit above average, but nothing.
See, I'm going low end, so if the monitor isn't the problem and it's actually the mix, then I would have given a 7.
That's fair. I think it might have been a track.
That's long jazz.
Well, that right there sounds like real. I mean, I don't think I hear all that. All right, well, let's get to the next one. Jake Johnson says a 6. He said he can barely hear Ethan.
I got it.
You got it. All right,
Marcus Mason said 5.5 to 6. Shout out to Scott Redis. Haven't seen you in a minute, dude.
Yeah, Scotty, bro, what's good?
Richie Ross says 4. Aaron Barton says 7. Some decent scores.
Some good scores, man. Good
Yeah.
scores. All right, let's get to the next one. We got Dripping Face.
No, next up, that's not even a thing
That's
anymore.
not their thing anymore.
Yeah, don't pay attention to the screen.
You just have a screen over here for no fucking reason. Just hanging out.
The song is called Dear Carousel by a band called The Dead Magnolia. We've had them once before earlier on in our episodes. And
What was the song?
they're
again?
back
I dig.
again. Dear Carousel.
Deer Carousel.
Not like deer like the animal.
Like a carousel with all deers on it.
Yeah, that's
Right,
what
instead
I'm,
of horses.
That's what I'm thinking in my head. Right?
So
Or
it's
is it
not
D-E-A-R,
deer like the
is it
animal.
deer?
It's D-E-A-R.
Oh,
Just a deeracell.
So is this like Joe Dirt writing, or is this
Duracell
like the
batteries.
chick that dated Joe Dirt, like writing him when he's working at the carnival? Like,
Yeah, it's that. Yeah.
Yo,
yeah.
dear carousel worker,
Yeah, exactly.
I like your
It's like
sideburns.
that. So we're gonna get to that here. Once again, if you'd like to donate to the show, it's very much appreciated. No way needed or required for you to do so. To get your music played on the show, if you would like to send your submissions in, ticker above. Ethan Eicher, 1992 at real at gmail.com. Yeah, there it is right there. It's going. Yeah, it's actually. You fixed the inversion.
Yeah.
God, see, we just get better every day, you guys.
Yeah.
We're
better
really killing
every
it over
day.
here.
Do you still
All right,
have that
Rockstar.
floating wiener?
I
Oh,
don't
we
know what
actually
happened.
got it ripped.
I'm pretty sure
find
Ethan ate it. So
No, Paul was grabbing it and pulling it
he
out.
mistaken.
Let's get to this next one.
Washed it out.
If you'd like to donate to the show, PayPal, Venmo, and Facebook are how we accept donations. Everyone was very, very much appreciated. And also, if you'd like to bump yourself up in the list, $5 to $25, depending on how much you bump up, and $30 to get you next, $50 for back-to-back submissions. Once again, none of this is possible without you guys. Big round of applause for you guys. We love you. We love you so much. And the cam in the background that we've been using is basically bought by you guys. So we really, really appreciate it. And we just want to get better and better. Damn it. We want to get better and better as the coming episodes happen. So please, by all means, donate. And if you don't want to, no big deal. We're not going to hold it against you.
Yeah.
Next song, one more time.
Dear Carousel by The Dead Magnolia.
The Deeracell.
Like-
Deeracell
Is it the
batteries.
Dead Magnolias?
The Dead Magnolia.
Oh, Magnolia. That's a cool name.
That is a cool name. I like that.
Do I know that
All
already?
right, here we go.
I've been missing. I know my mistake. Don't tell me what I'm risking. Hope it's not too late. My side is so strange.
real quick, stop it real quick. Well, that was Dead Magnolias.
So far.
The Dead Magnolia.
I mean, so far I'm getting kind of a screechy vibe off of it. Like it's a little bit out of. I mean, it's just a little grunge, too grungy for me. Not the music itself, but the way everything's being played. It sounds very garage bandish. And I don't mean that in any disrespect. It's just maybe that's the production of it. I don't know.
I like grunge. I'm feeling like a almost Soundgarden-y influence, pretty hard.
Totally. I can hear that.
A little more rougher.
Yeah,
I like
what I was catching at the beginning of it too was just like this. What was that?
That was Tool.
Tool, yeah. Must have been high.
Yeah, Chris Cornell.
Yeah, the beginning of it where it was going upward, and then I kind of, oh mama, I'm in fear for my life. That's got that kind of, it's got that kind of that same progression.
I'm in fear for my life.
Yeah, it's very, very.
All right, careful, Zach.
Yeah, all right. You're gonna get flagged, buddy. No, but I'd like to hear more. Let's just hear more of it because I don't really have much to take on this shit.
Flag.
All right, so
Dead Magnolia.
Dead Magnolias, Dear Carousel.
Dear Carousel.
All right, that was the song. All right, so Zach, takeaways. What'd you like? What'd you didn't like?
Yeah, once again, I think it was very reminiscent of like an Audio Slave or like Soundgarden style vibe.
Mitch said he was getting Tool vibes.
Tool, okay.
Yeah, I
don't know.
I can
And
do that.
once again, like like I said, everyone comes from a different background, view, style, and vision. And I'm a drummer, and so Tool is a lot more complicated.
Right.
Nobody can
Rhythmically.
Like Danny Carey, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what? Anything stood out to you that you didn't like? Too much?
What'd you say? What?
Anything stood out to you that you didn't like too much? Like something that.
I didn't like how so reminiscent of
Oh, okay.
that kind of music it was, because I mean, when you have something good, people don't know how to say what it sounds like.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, there's always a reference ish, but
Yeah. I agree with you. That's actually That's a pretty good point. I like that. I like that kind of you said kind of a poor man Soundgarden is like, you know what I mean, or a poor man.
Well, I didn't say poor man Soundgarden. I just said it was
it's okay to say that on the
that.
show. It's okay to say that on the show. All right, we get the it's the plug.
But that's not what I want to say.
All right, well, I agree with you though. A little bit.
But
different.
good things. The vocalist is really good. The band is tight, and I feel like I've heard the name before. I don't know where from, but
Magnolia.
Watch me know someone in this band and just be that guy. That's
Magnolia is a movie that came out in like 2001 or something like that.
There's also there's a band called like Steel Magnolia.
Steel Magnolia.
That might be what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know this at all.
Yeah, there's a couple bands out there with Magnolia.
But overall,
Magnolia is the song from Grateful Dead.
There you go, Sugar Man. Yeah, that too. That's right. A lot of Magnolias.
I thought it was well put together. Simplistic chord progression. Good lyrics, though. I like the lyrics.
They were all right. They were meaningful.
Yeah. They're not my style of lyrics. I tend to like lyrics that come from more of a personal experience than more of like what I felt from that was more existential.
Sure.
So, which either are relatable depending on your situation.
Yeah,
that's an opinion totally. But
I agree with you 100% on that. The lyrics were kind of like they were good, but they weren't from a. They weren't deep, like deep. They were deep in a sense, but they weren't like personal feelings.
This is where it becomes tricky, in my opinion. Once again,
Right.
To do lyricism is you can be straightforward and be instantly relatable to people in similar situations, or you can be vague or a little more artistic is the word I would use, I guess, and it becomes up to interpretation, and that's cool too, especially if you have a good song, good tune, good melody, and everything's put together well. And then if you're like in this in-between area where like you're not like where it's like just in its own level of like interpretation, like where it's like clearly about something, but you can only interpret it like one or two ways. I don't even know how to say this correctly because words. But I'm just saying, like it's just don't get too weirdly vague out in things.
So where you're not going to captivate an audience, where people are going to know what
exactly.
you're saying. That we've seen that time and time again in original music. Like just like something it makes sense to you doesn't mean it makes sense to everybody else, and we get that. I'm going to go ahead and start in on this one too. I'm going to say that what I did like about it was the bare nakedness of it, like he was talking about, like a kind of a very very bare your soul type of song. Right. I didn't like that. I'm going to leave that as the thing I like. I didn't like the composition of the song. I thought it was maybe it's a little, like you said, a little too reminiscent, but also a little. There was something about it that really didn't resonate with me very well. It literally sounded like some garage band stuff, like where everybody just sat down and just started playing, and then we were like, let's make a song, and then it didn't seem like there was very high end production in it, and for that I faulted a bit. But I mean, the song itself isn't a bad song. Like I said, Zach said. Lyrics good. I dug it. Ethan, what you got?
Yeah, man. Actually, the opposite, dude. I enjoy that grungy sound. It's just easy for me to like, and there's nothing much else I can say about it. It's a sound, that fuzz, the distortion, the grittiness, and the ruggedness of the instrumental. These are things that appeal to me on a personal level, and I don't shy away from them. I enjoy things like that.
Sure.
The thing I could hate about it. Off the top of my head, it's just their style. The song wasn't that, crazy good, but it was fun. It was good. I would enjoy listening to that live.
I want to clarify after your comments, Ethan, real quick. I definitely do not dislike grunge. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I like it. I do too.
Huge grunge fan. Anyone who says Nirvana's overrated is fucking stupid as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
That being said, just because it's so close to sounds I've already heard, I also like change. You know what I mean? That's all. That's all I
didn't wow you that much.
I don't want anyone thinking that I feel a certain way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and I agree with what he's saying. I do enjoy those things. I just thought there was too much. It was almost like I had this vision of a microphone, just like a SM58 being hung in the middle of some rafters, and just a bunch of people like. Right. Jamming out. That's just kind of the vibe I got, and I get that if that's what you're going for. But the music, like I couldn't hear certain things as well.
He goes to that Cannibal Corpse.
It was almost like the guitar was cutting through a little heavier. Then at one point the drums got heavy for a minute, like loud, not like heavier like in play, but it was like louder than the guitar for a second. It was almost like somebody was adjusting levels during the song or something.
Rather than actually playing with dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe I'm wrong about all that. Bob, go ahead and give us your take.
Yeah, man. I gotta say the first thing I would point out would be that the sound quality was not the greatest.
Sure,
that could definitely use some work. But I mean, for grunge, if that's what they're trying to go for, I mean, maybe,
like we don't use drums, we use trash cans.
Yeah, well, some
hey, stop, bro! You never seen it?
There are quite a few genres that they don't want any kind of like some of that really raw like black metal shit. That
sure, yeah.
That shit sounds like it was recorded in a bathroom stall.
And on purpose. Sure, yeah,
and but. That's how they like it. They don't want any effects on it, and they don't want any.
That could be. We don't know.
Cool.
We don't know.
Okay, so
after.
this. Go ahead. Sorry.
As far as what I liked, like it was catchy tune, but like kind of what these guys were saying, it was so reminiscent of something I've already heard before that it wasn't really anything like new. That it just didn't wow me.
I mean, I'm gonna say it again. Poor man's Tool. I mean, I that sounds very, very ish, but I'm not saying it like that. I mean, obviously, if you were as good as Tool, that'd be amazing, right? Yeah. What I'm saying is like, when somebody once watched me hammer and nail into a board and was like, "Wow, you suck at that," and then use the word "poor man's tools." All right, so like, poor man tool. By that I mean you're really good. You have something reminiscent, but it's just it's a little lackluster.
Yeah, just experiment a little more. Yeah. Get out there, expand your sound, and
let's do a round of ratings. Bob, why don't you start off?
Yeah, I'm gonna give that one a 6.
That one 6.
It's good all around, just good song, but not great.
Right.
Ethan?
A little better than average.
Yeah, I'm probably going to settle with a 5.5 on this
5.5.
one. Yep, I enjoyed it, and again, like Bob said, it's not that far above average, but I enjoyed it.
Sure, Zach, what do you got?
I'm gonna join Bob on a 6 actually.
Jake Johnson put a 4.5. He actually stole it out of my mouth. I'm gonna say a 4.5, and that's just the reason why. Is all the reasons I listed. It's kind of like just didn't sound like it was produced well. I mean, maybe work on it a bit.
Can I say something before we move on?
Polish it up. Yes, of course.
As far as when Bob was saying, a lot of bands really want that underground, grungy, or like messier sound, and I know they do. I came from initially a very punk rock crusty background, and crusty is an unheard of word unless you've really been in that scene. So like there's crust punk.
When you hear someone describe crusty music, you're just like, ew.
Yeah, exactly. But like crust punk, hardcore stuff like that, like really underground, lower quality sounding. It sounds like it was recorded on a fucking
cassette deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Now I know bands want that, and I have nothing against that. Actually, I really like a lot of bands that actually move forward with that. There's a genre that I really love called garage rock revival.
The garage rock revival.
Okay.
So that genre holds shit like the Hives, who do that like tick tick boom song.
Yeah,
but what they didn't do is record on shitty shit to make it like sound bad. What you can do now is like anyone can get a laptop for fairly cheap and a good DAW for fairly cheap.
Yeah.
And you can record good quality for fairly cheap as well. And then in post-production, you can bring down fidelity, you can bring down frequencies and ends of instruments and vocals and things that you want. And there's tons of plugins to actually make your song sound the way it should. That way, when you go to master it, it's purely a plugin or a production effect, and you can bring the volume and like the power of the actual song into where it needs to be and keep that lower quality that you're going for. So like I am totally 100%, not to be like super opinionated, but I'm against like doing fucking shitty recordings just to have a shitty recording.
Record on good stuff.
For grunge, then you're purist for grunge.
Yeah.
If you're willing to be, make changes to your sound, you're not afraid to actually add some production, some high quality production.
Well, and I'm not saying also you can't do like analog, old school style shit. Like look at the Black Keys. They purposely do like a lot of analog recording and instead of digital, and but it comes out good because that's what they're looking for, and
record on
that's what
good
they're
stuff
creating.
And
once again, this is all art and creation and all opinions.
Sure.
Always got to keep clarifying that.
Let's muscle past this one.
Yeah,
we're kind of tangenting that.
Sorry.
So we got next. No, it's all good. It's all good. Very good point, Zach, and I dig all the things you're saying. It's just
I'm that guy. I got to stop going off about shit. Sorry.
All right, fair enough.
Love y'all.
What we got next?
So next up, we got City Rock and the Mad Ryans, a regular that pops through.
Ooh, I like the Mad Ryans. This is that one the other night that I gave
Movement. City Rock and the Mad Ryans. All right, here we go.
Yes, sir.
A perfect place to see him again. Watch him on his pedestal, I like to pretend I see his every movement from 100 feet away. I want him to drive with me on the highway. He knows just what he's after, got his life all planned. He's gonna go to school and be a working man. This boy could break a boulder with his naked hands. I want him to remember me while he's dancing. Carve your name in blood all across my face. Lock me in your prison where I can't escape. Fill my heart with torture, fill my mouth with lies. I adore you. said he's been fine. He didn't ask a question, he didn't bat an eye. I see his every movement as he talks to other girls. Good God, I want him to give me his attention. I lose all my potential the moment he arrives. He's on another level and I'll never be surprised. I pity every woman who has to gaze into his eyes and watch him as he graciously loves another.
Loving it so far.
Yeah.
Holy,
Absolutely.
I love this band. This is the same band I gave a 10 to the other night.
Yeah.
You did. And that being said, I'm inclined to give you another high score because this is good stuff. And furthermore, her voice, I just love it.
She has such a pretty voice.
She does. I wish there was a little more effects on it and a little more intensity to it, a little bit at the same time. But I mean, it just
Sure, it's so like light and airy.
it is. It is, and I feel like
She got
that
such a dainty voice.
yeah, that rhythm and that type of music, you just like you really get some punch into it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep listening to it. Let's see what else we got.
All right.
Fill my heart with torture, fill my mouth with lies. Fill me to the brim with anything you like. Let me see what's under that perfect disguise. Fill me to the brim with anything you like.
Fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Sadie Rock,
yeah.
man.
Sadie Rock and Matt Ryan's,
That's a
man.
damn
Another
good
banger.
What is it, Sadie Rock?
Yes.
I really like that so much.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Let's start with Ether. I know you have an affinity for this band here. What's your takeaways? What's one thing you like, one thing you hate?
Oh man, I enjoyed the freaking. I got steampunk vibes out of this. You know, somebody said pirates and the stuff, and I dig that shit a lot.
Pirates.
Yeah, pirates. Well, because it gives it.
I don't know why
you
it's funny to me. It just is.
Well, 'cause
Pirates.
when you think about pirates, you know, but I mean, even if we're not talking about pirates, the general choice of, you know, chord progression and that style of playing, especially when you think of it being played in a bar, it has a theme to it, a mood to it that actually is very, you know, few and far between. Like you don't really, you really get to hear a lot of songs like that when it comes to local music, man.
Of course, man.
And there needs to be more of that type of vibe. But maybe not, you know, I just dig the steampunk.
Maybe
vibe.
not.
You
Maybe
know?
not. I don't know.
Maybe
You
not.
ain't gotta take anything away from it. What, any,
Yeah, maybe
yes.
everything I just said is bullshit.
Yeah.
Who knows? But it's just my personal
Anything that you
opinion.
disliked
What I
that
did
stood out to you?
dislike about it, I guess it was just so stiff. It was super stiff, and I wish there would be a little bit of room for something great up in there. Maybe, I don't know, loosen it up a little bit, add a little bit of different rhythm in there. But it just seemed like kabunk.
I'm gonna go after you on this one, and I get what you're saying, and I think that is a little bit on the other side I was gonna say, but it's in the same area. Actually, the thing I liked about it is the cohesiveness of the song. I like how it sounds like a real full track. It sounds like a full track. You know, the music's all together. It's like it's been glued together, and I like that. But also, there's that other part to it, like you were talking about. It's a little tight, a little rigid.
I think it's a lot tight.
It is, but for what it is, I mean, it was. I really like the track, especially just the composition of it in general. I dig it. I still think I say this every time I hear one of her songs. You need a little bit of effects on the vocals. You need to fade in, like your type of music. Either you need to be outside of it or fade into it. In my opinion, that's just my personal opinion. that what stands out to people more is, you know, like this type of stuff. I guess there's not much room to be more intense that much because the type of song it is. Right. But I really want to hear it get crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd like to hear without putting in different words.
I would love to hear. Yeah, you're just like
kick this fucking thing in the ass,
just
man.
Take it up,
Bam.
kick it up a notch, and get a little more raucous on the mic. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And she's got that nice, just that nice, pleasing melody to her voice. Just really nice. You know,
like timber.
Yeah, very, very, very chill and vibe. But I feel like that can be used for, you know, a greater purpose. Yeah. To really just melt my face.
There's a song. I'll have to show you guys this song later when we get off of here. But
for sure, big scores too. By the way, I don't know if anybody saw those. There's 7s and 8s on there.
There's a cover song that this chick sings, and it's her voice kind of reminds me of Sadie's and. But what she does with it is kind of what we're talking about, just getting a little more raw and a little more open.
Yeah, a little more throaty. Yeah. You know what I mean? Speaking of which, Bob, you're already on the mic. Go ahead. One thing you liked, one thing you hated.
Well, that was one. Well,
I was thinking you liked, I guess. Yeah, sort of. It was a little bit of both.
Yeah, I don't know. Out of all the songs by these guys I've heard so far, this one wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's some that were a little more, you know, this one just seemed a little downbeat.
That's a high bar, though, Sadie. You set a high bar here. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You eat a lot of granola, all of a sudden, you know, you get, or I'm sorry, you eat a lot of marshmallows, you get some granola, you're like, I know, this is good for me.
What?
Sweets. It was a sweets analogy, okay?
It
was like if you eat a lot of something sweet and then you get something that's actually good, like which is like, I don't know, a salad. You're like, this shit ain't Reese's Sticks. What is this shit?
But no, I do still like it. I mean,
it's good for sure.
They're great. They're a really good band.
Really good band for sure. Zach, go ahead.
I'll try to make it quicker. I've been running along. I love this band, and I've never heard of them until I started hearing them on this show. I think they're amazing. Or if it's just, you know, an artist and they're doing backup, whatever. It's whoever's in this is awesome. Sure. I love your voice. One thing I liked is all of it. I really like it. It gives me this vibe of like being in a club. Have you guys watched Altered Carbon season 2?
I have not seen the first season, but I watched a few episodes of it.
All right, well then, if you have watched it, they go into this club and it's like the future and like this place, and Takeshi Kovacs is like this lady singer. That's the vibe I would get if I went into like a badass little chill like bar club like in like a big city. You know what I mean? Like a little like swing club or something. Like
I could see this song on an episode. Like
one thing I didn't like is when they were saying that it could come up and like at some point and like bring a higher vibe at some point. I think it was mainly like when you were like coming up higher, especially like so you raised. I don't even know how to say. Raised your pitch for like the chorus parts of it. I feel like you could add harmonies, and even if you added like a low end male harmony or something like that,
let's get creative.
It just fills in more, and you don't necessarily need to be like more upbeat and like adding a ton of instrumentation or raising any volumes. Just, you know, throwing in an extra layer of something subtle is so important. Look at Maroon 5. Like the guitars from Maroon 5, you guys don't even know he exists probably because you hear all this pop music, but you'll hear this little without that the song would be different and you don't even know. It's just subtle, just layering.
Small subtles.
That's all. Subtleties. But I really loved it. I'm going to give it, can I start with the rating?
Start with the ratings. Go for it.
I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Wow.
I really like that. I love this artist. What is the name again? I'm so sorry.
Sadie Rock and the Mad Ryans.
Sadie Rock and the Mad Ryans.
Big score from Zach, who is the more technical of us.
So good.
I'll go next. I'm not gonna give it even close to that. I did like it, and once again, it's all opinion. I do like to say thanks to everybody for tuning in, all that stuff. I'm gonna jump into that real quick before I forget. Listen, we do this thing for the love, for the passion. In no way need or your donations are required of you to get your music played on here. It's just a platform that we do on TBTV called The Plug that we allow everybody to kind of bring their music in, and you know we review and we rate it, man, and we love doing it. And so if you would like to donate to the show, please do. All the information is above: PayPal, Venmo, Facebook. We love you guys. Everybody that's donated so far, we love you guys so much. Appreciate it. And if you would like to donate to get yourself bumped up in line, it's $5 to $25 to get you, depending on how high you get, and or you want to get up in the line, I should say.
Yeah.
And $30 to get you next. So once again, thank you so much, everybody, for donating. Wanted to get that out there before I forget. That being said, I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm going to give it a 7 because of the fact that I think I'm a little spoiled with your music. I like it. And I keep hearing the same, the same problem is just that. Obviously, if this was an album and you're playing the same tracks, and I'm like, well, that's the thing I didn't really like about that one, but I like the rest of it. It's going to be the same problem every time with me because, and so I'm always going to give you a 7 or 7, between 7 and 8 because it's just how good you are. But that's just, I didn't like this one as much as the other ones, like you kind of said. It's just kind of a little bit.
That is why.
Yeah, I give you a 7. Good score.
That's why I'm also going with a 7.
Yeah. Same reasons, right?
Yeah.
Ether, you got the same. What do you got?
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna sit there and sit on the 6. I thought it was good. I just thought it was stiff, and I just didn't really take me to another level.
Good scores, man. Good scores. They rocket the bad rhymes. Good stuff. Good
Awesome
stuff. Golf claps. Golf claps all around. Let's get to our next one. Who's our next
Next
submission?
up, we got the Hatchets with their track "Don't Let Me Go."
The Hatchets. I love that. I love the names of bands we get on our show. They're all so creative, man.
Really
we even had the low quality musician one time.
Yeah, we did.
And we did.
Have you guys had the Dead Marthas on here yet?
What's that?
Have you had the Dead Marthas?
The Dead Marthas. No.
Isn't that a local band? I think
It might be. It
they're
sounds like a
so
local band.
sick. That's like we got to check them out sometime.
All right, sorry about that.
Sorry for plugging.
Justin Otto, the Hatchets. You guys sent us a corrupted file.
Oh,
Resend it if you're watching. Resend it. Let's
Yeah,
get to the
resend
next
it.
one.
Try to aim for
We'll get you back up
MP3
when you
or-
send it in again.
So
This
next
stuff
up,
happens.
Yeah. Next up, we got Beneath the Sky Down Yonder. This is a local band.
Ooh, I like that.
Beneath the Sky Down
It's a
Yonder.
lot, but I like it.
With a track called Cigarettes in Style.
Cigarettes and
Who's
Style.
sending you Beneath the Sky Down Yonder? Do you know who that is at all?
What was his name? No, I got his name. I'll have to look into it real quick. I'm just going to pull it
I feel like I've heard that name.
And D, thank you so much for donating. We just got that donation. Thank you so much.
thank
You're wonderful. We love you so much. Can't wait to see you again.
Yes, really.
When all this ends. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just a big shitstorm. All right, so we got Beneath the Sky Down Yonder.
Still got to pull him up here. Got to
Gotcha.
caught off guard by the corrupted file.
Once again, we have some awesome episodes coming up. Once again, big shout out to big shout out and thank you to Zac Conger, who is here with us. We appreciate you joining the show, man, and I love your insight, bro.
And the guy who sent it to me was Alex Nold. He's one of the two.
That's who I know it is. It's Taylor Anderson.
Taylor and
Alex Noel.
Nice.
Okay, I was like,
He
I
used
know
to
that
come up
name.
and
Okay,
sing
cool.
all the time at the beach club.
Yeah.
Jesus, everywhere.
Yeah,
Guys everywhere.
Taylor
Guys
Anderson and
fucking
Alex Noel,
everywhere.
they're so good,
sure.
dude. I'm expecting this to be good.
All right, let's do this. Here we go.
Here we go.
We're gonna stop it real quick.
So far, so good.
The reason we do this, by the way, is twofold. One is to prevent Facebook from muting our shit, Zuckerberg. If you're watching, knock it off. But two is to just give some real quick insight. We little bit of both. Column A, column B. So far, I think we're all in agreement. We just like the song.
No, it's really
song. Harmonies are great.
Really like the harmonizing.
Yeah.
Very ethereal.
Yeah.
Ethereal for sure.
Listen to you two, like a married couple.
Who said
It's
that?
ethereal. It's ethereal.
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 That's the way I say it.
Ethereal.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, I know. You also say regularly,
I used to.
I say regularly.
similarly. Good song, good track so far. Leonard Skinner. I mean, I kind of see that, like the
It
voice.
reminds me of Sweet Home Alabama a little bit.
I don't know how you're getting that at all.
Not like the vibe of the song, but like the tone of his voice.
Okay, so the voice reminds you of Leonard Skinner's
Yeah.
voice. Okay, yeah, I can see that a little bit. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's listen to some more songs. See what we got.
Absolutely.
Wonder where you are now. Wonder where you've been. Wonder what you say now. About the troubles you've been in. Burning rubber down the highway, I go my way, you go yours. Way to guide you, come around, you turn around and change your course. You never know just where you'll end up on this road.
And pause it real quick. I dug the shit out of what I just heard right there. That was
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Those harmonies are so
Those
good.
are really
They know their voices very well. It might be the same guy. I don't know if it is or not. You know,
It could be the
I'm gonna
singers and
foreshadow by
layers on
saying I
voices.
think all the vocals could come ahead of the mix a little, but yeah, that's so
A
good.
little, yeah, I mean, but those harmonies are so good. All right,
Yeah,
let's
well,
let's get through.
super
How much we got
talented.
left?
1 minute, 15 seconds.
1 minute left. Let's check it out.
Let's keep it Christmas
All
time.
right, so this was Cigarettes in Style by
Beneath the Sky Down Yonder.
Beneath the Sky Down Yonder.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna start off real quick. I really like that. I like the voices. I like the vocals. Everything was the music was really good. Somebody said George of the Jungle-y a little.
the bongos.
Just-
yeah.
I gotta be honest with you. I agree with you. I didn't hear
that.
him as much as after you said something with that little in the background. I actually liked it. I liked it a lot.
Right, yeah, I
the
didn't
thing
get
I
that
didn't
vibe at
like
all.
about it that much is literally just the vocals were a little low. I mean, that's all.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to critique anything past that because it was a really good song and
Yeah.
the vocals were the thing I liked about it, but they were just a little behind the track. I don't know. That's just my liking, maybe. I
right there
like to
with you.
hear different types of music call for different types of things. I think this is one of those, in my opinion, that would be, you put them a little bit ahead so you can hear a little bit more. But God, I mean, very much to my palate. Dug it.
Yeah.
Zach, why don't you get us next?
I really like that track. I have not heard that track
I did too.
itself,
That was
but I
good
have
shit.
actually heard these two live together. Super good team, but that's super incredible. Like I
So
said
there's
before,
two-
yeah,
so
the
there's
vocals
two
are a
of
little
them on
behind the
vocal.
mix for
Is
my
it-
liking, but
Is it him
also-
and his dad?
No.
this them?
This is Taylor Anderson and Alex Nold.
Okay.
So Alex
okay,
Nold
it
has
is
done
two
a
people on the
lot of
vocals.
opening for and playing along with Dan Sherrill.
Oh,
Sure,
okay.
sure.
And then
okay.
Taylor Anderson moved back from
Man, watching
California. They've
Taylor
been
just come
playing a
this
bunch of
far,
music
too,
together.
man.
Yeah.
It hasn't
That's been crazy.
Oh,
watching
dude, yeah. I
Taylor
used to
come
mess
from
around
where-
playing music with Taylor back in the day.
Yeah.
And I honestly get this, like, Lonesome Crowded West album by Modest Mouse vibe. I know it's
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. No, I can see it, man.
I don't know if you guys have listened to that album or care about Modest Mouse, but I get that, and hopefully you guys know that I know that because I feel like you have some influence from that. I know Taylor likes Modest Mouse. Anyway, I thought it was really good. Like I said, I'd bring forward the vocals. Everything else I really like. The harmonies are amazing. And oh wow, I have to go.
Don't rate it yet. Don't rate it yet.
I'm going to wait.
Don't rate it yet.
Just kidding.
Let's do a round of ratings after we get some insight from these two. What do you guys got?
I mean, really, there's nothing else I can say that hasn't already been said. Everything that is good about it is good about it. I enjoyed the bongos, despite other people maybe not liking that vibe. But I think that bongos are rare nowadays when it comes.
Yeah, they're underused.
Yeah, and so percussion, whatever percussion's used, use
more
it.
cowbell.
What I dislike about it, though, and this is because it's a type of Americana blue, like post bluegrass, not even like bluegrass, but like rocky in a way without the drums. I dig that. I feel like it would have been really cool to have some sort of, I don't know, piano or something else. I mean, it doesn't have to be a synth or anything like that. But
so what are you saying, though? So you're saying you just add an instrument? Is that what you would personally like?
More. Yeah,
or you would just want to have more of a full song? Like, how would you?
Well, that's the same thing.
Let's narrow that down.
Instrumentation means that increase the density of this song. I felt like it was a little bit hollow.
A little hollow. Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. All right, Bob.
You got me mid yawn. Sorry.
Oh, shit.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah. No.
Is that how you feel about the song?
No.
That's how it feels about the mic.
Pearl Jam-ish, yeah.
No.
I see a Pearl Jam in there too. Yeah, for sure.
I really dig it, and you guys know me. I'm a sucker for harmonizing vocals, and those two obviously know their voices very well and are able to really.
This guy is as well.
They almost do that like pitch blend thing, but like together.
Right.
It's really cool.
It did remind me of like when him and his dad used to come in and sing songs together, and they would always sound perfect in harmony.
Right.
Like there's certain people that can hear that shit just kind of connect. Yeah. Like when you're doing harmonies and all of a sudden,
they line up just right.
They do it really, really well. So I dig
like you guys were saying, the vocals in the mix could have been a little bit higher than maybe the.
Yeah, they just needed more presence.
And the only thing I got to say about the percussion is it wasn't very clear. It almost sounded like they had a bunch of effects riding on top of it. Mm-hmm. So it just it sounded a little muffled or echoey. I don't know. I think. That's probably my.
You jump on the vocals, right? Yeah, the vocals were a little.
No, the percussion was.
Oh, the percussion. Okay, I was like, the vocals.
It did have a lot of reverb on it.
Yeah, it was just. I think the percussion could have been a little tighter.
I think they were trying to put
not so much tighter, but it could have just been.
Yeah, kind of in the background,
but still have it be audible.
There's a thing you can do with a bongo drum, which is pop it a bit, and that's the only noise I heard in there was that, like that kind of like pop, And if that was a little louder, sure. I mean, I don't know. It adds the dynamic to it, but I liked exactly that too. But I feel like it was a little low. Maybe
that's my only takeaway.
It's semantics.
What do you say, guys?
Let's do a round of ratings. Zach, you've been itching to give us your rating. Go ahead.
Real quick anecdote, quickie. Like I said before, when I can't describe what it sounds like, I know I mentioned Lonesome Crowded West album by Modest Mouse, but it's so different, and it's not like an actual complete comparison. Like, you sound like that. Just, I feel influence. I'd say you don't sound like anything I can really describe, especially genre or artist-wise, and it's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'm going 8.5, boys.
Sick.
Wow.
8.5. Zach giving out huge.
Maybe I'm a little liberal with my ratings. I don't know, but I think that's an 8.5.
That's all right. All right, it's fair. It's fair. Before we get going any further, Abby, if you want to jump in on this mic here, I don't want to move it too much from Bob. Abby's in the studio. My sister Abby's in the studio.
Obviously.
Well, here, just pull it out. Hold on.
No, he said don't do that. That's why I stopped.
It's all good. It's all good. We'll figure it out.
Actually, I'm not a part of the show at all. But I'm sitting
You are
here
now.
hanging out with my brother, watching their show. And I just want to tell you that I think you're awesome. And you remind me of Home Free. I don't know if you know that band, but Anyway the Wind Blows.
Yeah. That melody, the harmony.
I do know that. Oh, that's true.
I was sitting on the couch listening to you sing this song,
that's
and
cool.
it reminded me of being on a nostalgic road trip. And keep in mind that I have no, what they're doing here with all this equipment. I don't know anything about any of that. But I will tell you, as somebody who listens to music, I would totally buy your album, bro.
Nice. Fucking A.
And also, I totally agree with Zach's opinion of 8.5.
Nice.
Big scores. Big scores. Bob, you're about to give a rating. Oh, I'm sorry, man. God, love you. Abby, I think you made it out of me and Bob. You touched this chord.
Bye, Abby. Bob hates you.
Unraveled it. You ruined the whole show.
Not about your chord.
So special.
You unraveled it, you dick.
Listen, chords are meant to be unraveled. Can I go philosophical?
Hey, any way the chord rolls.
Anyway, the chord untangles. Bob, what's your rating?
Yeah, 7, man. I liked it a lot. It was good.
7. I'm gonna go. A 7.5. I feel like that's a
Why do
fair.
you always do that to me, dude?
Because I feel like it's fair, man. It's a fair score. Listen. Okay, we go tit for tat. We get after it. We do thing. We do a column A, little column B. You know, I don't know what's going on right now.
We're going tit for tat.
What I can tell you
Orange
is this:
Tic Tacs.
7.5 is the optimal correct score for this song. I dig it. I liked everything about it. I'm going to jump out of my accent for a minute.
Okay.
Taylor,
Please.
unreal, man. Unreal. I remember seeing this kid. I want to call him a shithead, and I'm gonna, because that's my first impression of you, man. Like he bounced and he was like, Taylor, I like to sing songs and shit. So from that
Living his
kid,
best life, dog.
I mean, to be fair,
I love Taylor Anderson.
To be fair,
He's a good vibe.
when I first met him, he wasn't
High energy.
even close to as polished or as good as he is now.
Yeah, neither was I. And
wouldn't
he's
have
like
guessed.
10 polishes ahead of me, and I'm like way better than I was then.
I gotta tell you,
Just saying. He's killing it.
I gotta tell you, the thing I'm saying here is that I would have never thought, because I need to keep up on your music more. That's what I'm saying. I need to keep up on your music more, because I would have never guessed you would have thrown a song like that, and I would have been like, yes. And then you said Taylor Anderson afterwards. I was like, what? That's him? Yeah. And then it clicked. I was like, oh shit, he actually has a really, really good voice, and I just haven't heard it in so long. Great job, Taylor. I give it a 7.5 all the way, dog.
You know, and all the way, dog.
All the way, dog.
You know, one thing I love about this song that's really solidified my high rating score is like it just reminds me of cruising through fucking Nebraska. You know, cruising through the plains, just long drives and dark nights, man. Clear stars, clear skies. I mean, that's my shit. It's nostalgic, and that's why I give it a 7.5.
Oh, 7.5, 7.5, 8.5, 8.5, and a
Let me just say
7.
this. If you continue doing anything, and this goes for anyone who's ever been on the show or will be on the show, anyone submitting music or doing anything that they care about, the more you do it, the better you get.
Absolutely.
So, Paul, I would like to say
this.
your surprise about how much better he is now than he was when he was a little shithead is a little weird to me, because you know that you were not as good a DJ or entertainer as you are now.
I don't know what the fuck
3,
he's
4,
doing on his
5,
free
6,
time. I don't know
7
he's
years ago.
practicing. For all I know, he could be fucking spoon feeding himself.
You keep doing it, you're only going to become better.
Yeah, for sure.
What do I know?
If you get worse when you
That's
keep
why I decided
practicing,
to keep up to date.
then you're not doing it right. And I don't feel like
You've
anyone
never had to
is doing
tell
it wrong. So
saltines.
keep practicing, keep doing your thing, keep
You
creating.
clearly haven't been drunk.
But no, I see what Zach's saying too.
Leave some bounds
We
to
should
fly
assume
into.
that people, after long periods of time, if they keep doing,
I'm not
what they're
assuming
doing-
shit.
Okay.
I'm not assuming shit, you guys.
You should
okay?
assume that
If I
people
don't,
are
if
gonna
I don't,
get
if I don't
better.
hear your music, I don't know. All right, but I'm not
Over time.
assuming that everybody has good work ethic and is just going
I'm having a
to
bad fucking
continue
hair
to
day
roll
over
down
here.
this
That's not getting better.
successful path.
I never thought you had good work ethic, but you know what?
I
Paul,
don't.
You're going
and the fact that I'm here right now is just simply a testament to good friends.
Keeping things on track. Who do we got next, Ethan?
Okay, so
Let's move along.
Next up, we got the Hatches. They're back in there. We finally got the
Oh, we
track
did get that
figured
one
out.
figured out.
Don't
Sweet.
let me go.
Molly and the Hatch.
I've got to
Don't
use
let
the
him go,
restroom.
Murph.
I will
Don't
be
let him
rolling
go,
for a second.
Murph.
Love you guys.
Don't let him go.
The future is a pair of desperate eyes staring back at me. Fingers tugging gentle like a little child at my sleeve. And I try to hear her whisper, bend down to pull her close. Please, don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Please. My love and my disease, my mother and the Holy Ghost. They hover in my sleep, same face, but with different glow. And each one tries to teach me what it means to be alone.
Pause it.
All right.
All right.
So far, what do
So
you
far,
think?
so good.
What's your takeaway?
You know what? I like this type of music. I don't know. It's very. Here's the thing. It's not my type of music that I would listen to. I should have waited till Zach was back. My bad, Zach. It's not my type. It's not my type of music that I would listen to on a normal basis. But I get this real bubbly vibe from it. It's kind of like I don't know. It's like something I would see in like a teen movie montage.
Yeah.
Like a coming of age kind of.
Yeah.
It's a little slow for my taste.
Like Brad just told me he's not going to the prom. I have some thinking to do. Oh, Sarah just told me my dress is pretty, and this song's just playing in the background, and they're just walking aimlessly into corridors of lockers.
Oh, and then there's got to be like the narrator, the over monologue. He's like, I thought I'd never get out of high school.
You know what she didn't realize was that she was exactly where she wanted to be the whole time, and everybody's like, I can't believe he just said that. That was exactly what I was thinking too. Best friends forever. I really get that vibe from it. What do you, Bob? What about you, Bob?
I was just gonna say it's a little slow for my taste, but we'll see if
very bag floating in the wind.
Maybe it'll pick
some
up.
American Beauty type shit.
Let's play some more. Let's
hear some more. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a little slow for my taste, but and just because the girl I'm about to go meet out front and then I'll come back,
the one that sang
it's
the song?
super
What the
fast.
song's about. Sorry.
And when I say fast, I mean bad things. So, I love you guys. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, dog. All right, let's do this.
Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Please. My soul is a story that I tell myself. An outlaw ballad where the thief means well. It's never been mine. It's nothing I could own. Please, don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Please. Don't let me go. Don't let me go, please.
Don't let me go, man.
Don't let him go, Merv.
Don't let me go.
Oh, so I gotta tell you, I
Don't Let Me Go by what? Hatchet?
The Hatchets.
The Hatchets.
I like the name. I like what you're going for, and honestly, I think you nailed it. It's not
sent
my
me back
type
in
of
time.
music. It's not my type of music, but it is very, very reminiscent of other things that I would imagine. And so once again, like Don't Let Me Go, and then your
I love
friends
that.
driving away off to college, and you're just standing there like, I'm gonna miss you,
Yeah,
but I'm so proud of you. You got that scholarship you wanted.
And it
It's
cuts to
like
the
a song
mom
off
and dad
the
letting them go
Breakfast
too.
Club or
Breakfast
something.
Club. I would even say like any other. Just name a teen movie from
Superbad?
just name, sure. I mean, there was some dissension in the ranks in that movie. There was some dissension amongst friendships. Play it then.
Yeah.
And any type of I want to say heartfelt moment in these that's not supposed to be dreary. Like you know,
Right.
it's just like that moment where
It's actually, yeah.
it could be played in any of those. And honestly, if that's what you're going for, which I think it is, the name like the Hatchets.
The Hatchets. It reminds me of the book, The Hatchets. Again,
Yeah.
sending me back in time.
It's very coffee shop music. I mean,
Yeah.
once again, not my personal favorite, but I'm gonna give you my like and dislike now. My dislike is just the. I really don't have a dislike. It's just preference. It's preference. I don't even have a dislike.
You
I
don't
have
like
a
them damn
preference.
kids, Paul.
I just, they're on my lawn.
They're sitting there
The
remembering shit.
ruined and the brand new sod I put down.
Making
hanging out in my yard like a
memories.
bunch of knuckleheads.
Making these damn memories.
No, I honestly
want that.
don't. That's the thing is that like I don't enjoy that type of music personally, but I'm going to give you a high score because I can tell
musicianship was there.
it was there,
Oh, yeah.
and I can tell what you're going for.
And the
it's
songwriting was, too.
It's very Sarah meets Trevor, and that's not my shit. I don't know. I'm making up hypotheticals.
Okay. I thought that was like a movie.
I've never heard of that one.
Sarah Why are you doing this? Trevor, just let me be myself. You've been yourself the whole time. I love you, Trevor. That shit, that's just like, that's the type of stuff I'm not a big fan of. But I'm going to give you a high score because it's good. I really don't have a dislike.
This could have been played on the Notebook. This could have been played on the Notebook when he's sitting there trying to, you can make like a fake fan video or something like that, where the Notebook and she's trying to remember him and she's trying to get her to remember him. So he's like, don't let me go, Murph.
Exactly.
You got to apply it to Interstellar. Don't let me go, Murph.
Oh, no, that was a little dark. That was a little dark for that type of thing.
But it becomes happy as soon as you put the song to it. And all of a sudden, Matthew McConaughey is happy to be stuck in the test.
Whatever. Do you have anything you disliked about it?
What I dislike about it?
It's so Lego blocked. I can't.
Yeah, it was just standard. It was just standard.
It's standard, good. Like honestly, and for that genre, certain genres that doesn't apply. This genre of whatever that is, what would you call this genre?
Soft rock.
Yeah, just soft rock, a ballad rock. I mean,
I wouldn't say ballad. I wouldn't even call it rock.
Well,
it's more alternative. It's like
shoegaze, indie rock,
indie.
indie rock pop, punk pop.
I don't like how you just. I don't like how you just said gays. All right, we're cutting the show off.
Shoegaze is a genre.
Bob, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, definitely not my style. Because for obvious reasons. But the musicianship was there. The guy's vocals were clean.
Production was there.
Yeah. The lyrics were good. The message, that it was there. Everything was there to make it a good song.
Oh, shit.
It was just a little slow,
and that's the genre, right? That's the preference.
It was heartfelt.
So
it was cute. And
to be clear, none of us actually have something we dislike. I mean, I
enjoy the fuck out of it.
And you want to know why, you guys? It's because you need to be doing what we're doing and taking yourself out of the box. Okay, take yourself out the box, and then you rate these songs. Because honestly, if I had to rate this song, if somebody was playing, if he was playing this shit in the car, and I wouldn't want to call it shit. It's good music for some people. Mm-hmm. But if he was playing this in the car, I'd be like, dude, what is this? And why are you torturing me right now?
Hatchets, man. I love the
I was like, get your hand off my leg. I don't like this.
Come
and
on.
that's not the stick shit.
Come on.
Still don't let me go.
But all in all, man, what you went for and what you're going for, which is obvious because the hatchets, right? I bet your CD is like pink, right? Or pale orange or something like
blue.
Wait, is it blue? Is it pale blue?
It's like deep blue, bunch of different blues.
All right, so it's a bunch of different blues. All right, that makes sense. It still makes sense, the realm. I'm just saying, it reminds me very much of like a Goo Goo Dolls type thing, where they're like this, everything's really heartfelt and just very vibey.
Sure. I mean, all right. So what do you
I'm gonna give it a score that I think is fair, and I'm taking all my opinion out of it. I'm going to give it a 7.5. I think it's a good song. You know what? I'm going to give it an 8.
Ooh,
I'm going to give it an 8 because I feel like everything was there. And I really do feel like there's nothing I can say bad about that song because if you do have it in the right setting, people are making out and then saying goodbye to each other forever.
Yeah, they're going to, they're never going to call back.
This is some Eiffel Tower shit. I'm just saying 8. I give it a big score. 8. I got to go. I got to go with it. I got to be honest with you. I wouldn't listen to it, but I give it an 8. Bob?
I'm going with a 6. I mean, it's because it's better than average. Everything was there to make it a good song. It's just not my cup of tea.
Well, you can't. I did the opposite, Bob.
I mean, if you don't like country music,
shut up.
Now you make me look like I'm a homer now. I just like giving out big scores.
Ethan, what are you going to give it, bud? What are you going to give
honestly, it? Honestly, I love all types of music, and so I can already see where I want this. I can already imagine the story, and I love a song that does that. I love a song that evokes an image in my mind. Emotions too, and emotions that are relatable that I've actually felt for since I haven't felt since I was a kid. So you just hooked me up with like that whole Ratatouille moment where that guy ate that fucking piece of cheese or whatever. Ratatouille when he sent him back to his childhood.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. I was like, what?
It's one of those types of experiences, and because of that, man. I mean, I don't want to go crazy now. You hear me out?
Hey, all right. Don't hurt him now.
Don't go more 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not crazy, Zach.
I would put that on my radio.
It's funny because I stepped outside, I did, but I actually was listening on the live video just to keep track. It's actually way because I didn't get the first chance. Like I got the first few seconds on the monitor we have going on. It is lower quality today. I think we got to do some adjustments on audio.
Just some tweaking.
Okay.
We had some mic issues.
But then I went to the bathroom and then I came out and I made a joke about fast girls and slow songs. That's a fucking album name, by the way.
Little Red Corvette style, man. I like it.
Or a TV show. Anyway, no, I actually listened to it when I was outside on the live video on my phone. I love that song.
Yay!
Holy shit.
I mean,
that's so good.
Don't let me go.
Holy
and it's
shit.
catchy, man.
It is. I mean, dude, the lyrics were so junior highs, though, too. It was like, a soul is a story that I tell myself.
That was
And
incredible.
I'm like, dude, that's
Hatchets? That's who that is?
Hatchets, yeah.
Don't let me go. Oh,
let me go.
boys, let me just end it right here. I'm going 9.
Oh, my God.
I'm really going 9. I know.
And here's the thing.
I know, but that's my shit. Like, and
He does like that.
and I don't know what my
Yeah,
shit
that's
is
like
until I
Brian
hear
does.
it.
He does,
Because
yeah.
I don't just try to, like, change is the only constant. I'm not trying to assume or have a closed mind about anything. That was good.
Let me shit on
That
this
was
for a
really
second.
good.
Let me shit on this.
Let me shit all over this for a
Shit
second.
all over
Can I
it.
shit on it.
Okay, here comes.
Okay, I got
Shit on it, but don't
take
shit
a
on me.
All right,
That's
I
all
gotta take a
good.
shit.
He's got a bowel
Listen,
movement.
I don't want you to get too excited, Hatchets. It was a good song. It's a good track for what you're in, but there's not a lot of movement in that genre. All right, so my score is based off of the fact that if I'm eating, I don't know, name something that always tastes like it's an orange. If it tastes orangey, like better than the other oranges, I'm going to give it a high score. And that's what I kind of felt like I was doing here. It was like that song, for what you're doing, you nailed it. But
It's a
there's
little
not
sweeter,
much in that
but it still
realm.
tastes like an orange.
You kind of pipelining to the top with that one. And I can't justify giving you less.
Let me say this.
Right.
So today I went shopping.
No, I'm just kidding. It was great.
I went shopping. I went gun shopping today for an AR-15.
Yeah.
I found a dope one, but I was in multiple stores all day. Don't
you
worry,
didn't
I
buy
was
a
masked
hatchet?
up. I was masked up and gloved up, and don't worry about that.
Charlie, you
and
better
keeping my
fucking
distance
not.
from people. But I wanted to buy an AR-15. I haven't bought one yet. Finally got one today. I
That just made
went in, and you hear.
algorithms go nuts.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. We're now tagged for terrorism.
Nah, whatever.
Oh, I missed that.
Anyway, shut up, nerds.
Yeah, what did you play this?
No, there's
this
playlists
AR-15
in any
musically?
establishment when you go in because people know that they want to hear music, and like a grocery store will play fucking like Kelly Clarkson or some other shit, so that middle-aged women feel good about their life moving forward while they're shopping for fucking potatoes and
no,
fucking
I
bread.
got what you're saying.
I
on
get
that.
it.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, I'm fucking going through all these stores and like I just keep hearing all these songs that keep getting stuck in my head after I leave each new place. Blah blah blah. But that's the kind of shit I want to hear when I'm like eating in a restaurant
you're
or
browsing.
shopping at a store or
It's good
looking
browsing
around.
music.
I
It's
agree.
super calm. It's relaxing. And it's nostalgic, like Ethan was saying.
Yeah.
Like it really brings you back to moments like, and not even like some relationship shit. Like I feel like it might be based on, like I said, up to interpretation earlier.
It really is. The lyrics weren't very clear on that.
It can even bring you back to just like your past. Like don't let me go.
Right.
Like my old lifestyle and the things I did when I was younger and the people I knew and when things were easier and simpler. Even we can go back 3 months.
Yeah, sure. Very
Before
time-
COVID-19.
I will say this. I do think it's hilarious.
Current world, don't let me go. And then
We thought
COVID-19
2019
happens.
was like the worst year ever.
It's 2020. This is the only time I've ever seen people walk into a store that has cash registers with money in it and with gloves and a mask on, and everybody's like, "Oh, good job."
Yeah.
I've never seen this before. I
I like
feel like
that.
the asshole for being transparent. I put on a mask, gloves, and I'm holding an AR-15 in your establishment. You're like, "How you like it?" Like, it weirds me the fuck out. How is these security measures are failing right now, and nobody seems to notice? Zach just walking around with like OJ gloves on and an AR-15, like I'm gonna buy this.
Hey,
but
this
first,
is America, baby. That's what it's all about.
It was a good vibe.
America.
Super sick.
all right, so I think we agreed upon something real quick.
Wait, we have to do one more.
I was about to say that. We have one more. We're going to take a 5-minute break so we
Yeah.
can try to figure out this sound shit.
Yeah.
Give us a second on that, and please tune
Don't
back
go
in.
anywhere. We're gonna
Once
be right
again,
back.
all donations are 100% appreciated. They are ever so, just, we love you. I don't even want to go into a whole thing about it. We love you so much for donations. If you'd like to donate to the show just for the content, you can do so. Venmo, PayPal, Facebook, all goes to a great job. Great job. It goes great.
Great show.
A great cause. Jaws is what I said.
Great job.
A great Jaws.
Nice.
This show, okay? Everything that you're seeing, the more we improve it, the better platform we can give you guys to
Every
get your
cent
music
that they
out there.
get, they seriously do put back into
Zach knows.
production.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And we ain't rich right now. We are literally I'm spending more money on this right now than goddamn groceries.
So
It's
no,
making it, you
seriously.
guys that make the people making it possible.
Yeah.
It all goes into production so much that like and this is nothing against Paul, but he was in like the industry where he's self-employed. He owns a business, the business entertainment.
This is true.
So before this, during this, he's not taking any of these donations and paying bills with them. Seriously.
Nope. This is all going straight towards
I'm getting
production.
unemployment right now, and to be honest, more than I was making before it. And so
So is Bob.
I'm giving him cash to be able to buy groceries and stuff like that. And so is Bob.
Socialism.
But like he's literally
Well,
trying
that's why it
to
would
make
never
sure that
work.
he's not taking advantage of this for his own gain and even for his own survival, which is insane because I would at least buy some groceries and pay some bills.
It's
but he's
either
not.
here too. It's Bob here too, and it's guys like Zach who also donated very much to the show earlier, just to donate, man. And I love
It's
you, man. I
just
really
to keep
appreciate
this
it.
going.
That being said, it's all possible
We
because of you guys, the
appreciate you.
viewers, the donations. If you want to bump yourself up in the list, that's how we allow you to do it. 5 to 25 get you up in the list, depending on where you're at. We do have more submissions, and we're going to come back here and we're going to kick this thing in the ass even harder. Do we have one more song?
So right now, before we go, Joe Klein.
Joe Klein,
And we're
let's
not
go.
going
Go.
anywhere.
What does he
Don't listen
got?
to that. Joe Klein sent an email saying this is going to be way different than you guys typically.
This is, and I'm looking at the
Brandon
wave file.
Jones,
The
or,
wave
like, what
file
are
is
we
very,
talking
very
about?
It's
thin.
quiet, so we're going to have to turn this
all
one
right,
up
let's
a little
crank
bit.
it a tad
But
here.
you
Hold
never
on.
know. Joe Klein, he's
We're
a
cranking
very
it a tad.
talented
Joe
musician.
Klein is so dope.
He's boss, bro.
Taylor's asking if we got the donation.
Taylor, you little devil.
You little devil.
I want to meet you. I want to meet you one day and just give you a big hug. Seriously, Taylor's been.
Who is it?
It's people like Taylor McCarty here. It's people like her and many others. But
I don't know who that
she,
is.
She tunes in and she donates the show and
I'm
she's
just kidding.
so.
I know who you are.
I love you. I've never met you before. I love you. And I mean that.
So I had this
very,
crush
very
on
much so.
Taylor
Thank you
McCarty
so
back
much.
when we were in shop class in like middle school, I think.
So she's local.
Yeah, she lives here.
Oh man, I did not know that, Taylor. So that's actually something that we can do.
Yeah, I think
I'm
that's
gonna
when
meet you
I've
and
like
I'm
the
gonna
only time
buy
I've
you a
actually
coffee
spoken
and
to
give
her
you a
in
big hug.
person.
There you go,
was
Bob.
In
Because
shop class,
you're
in,
making
like,
this thing possible.
7th grade, and she was in
Get
8th
that
grade or
research.
something, and I was like, "Oh, I have a crush on this chick." Yeah,
We need more
she's
of
a cool
that.
chick.
That's-
Super supportive.
Zach, so you had a crush on the girl we're talking to right now?
Yeah,
You did when you were in
What happened to
7th
that,
grade?
man?
Was the Hatchets playing in the background?
Oh, that's right.
I'm just throwing it out
No,
there.
I wasn't
okay?
buying a
I'm
gun
just
at a
saying.
gun
Oh,
shop.
I thought this was somebody else.
Why would
too.
they be
Well,
playing?
still love you even more.
I don't know,
Great
man,
meeting
because
you.
they play. I thought that. Do you have to actually play the music? Doesn't it just play ominously through like energy and good vibes?
in the heads of the
No,
everybody's just
dude. Back
thinking of the
then, you
same
had to
song.
fucking
It's all
bring a
stuck in their
boombox like
head.
it was a night at the
Hey, I used to
Roxbury.
fuck with boom boxes, okay? I used to fuck with boom boxes. Let's get. I did. I
Let's
put
get
them on my
Joe Klein
shoulder the whole
going.
night.
Hurrah, hurrah.
You
Let's
would,
get it.
too.
The track's called Thoughts on Water. folks.
Thoughts on Water,
By
Joe Klein.
Yeah.
Digging it. Jake, real quick, man. Thank you so much for the donation, buddy. We love you. Thank you so much, man.
Jake, I love you. Will you donate to my Venmo also? I need $40,000. Thank you.
have to ask that question. You are not baked enough, Don. Okay? You need that a couple more times. This is Joe.
right.
Joe, what the fuck?
So you're just working on the Final Fantasy VII
Why
remake.
did it cut so abruptly too? At the end, it was just like, just right at the end. Oh my goodness, Joe, I love you. You know what's
That's about the
hilarious?
time when it evolves into a boss battle. All of a sudden,
I was
you get
totally
attacked.
so. Joe's part of Tanner John's band.
Yeah.
He's also part of Blue Street band. He's also just one of the most amazing bassists I've come in contact with ever. And I was not expecting.
Not what I was
I
expecting.
just you guys didn't see it, or maybe you did if you saw it. But Ethan and I immediately we heard Dan Dan Dan. We both went. That's Final Fantasy VII.
I thought he was playing.
That's what kind of nerds we are.
Oh, no.
I don't know what instrument that is. That is so
Like a clarinet, man.
yeah, it's like a clarinet or
so
a
I use
quarter.
Piano samples, clarinet samples.
Okay, yeah.
Clarinet samples. Okay, that's so now we know. Joe, I was expecting so much different. I honestly, it's not even that was like that bad. It was kind of.
It was good.
It was a melody.
It could have been the Final Fantasy VII song if in an alternate universe.
Yeah,
It
if you
would
just
have been as
change
fine.
the composition of the notes, you might have something almost something the exact same.
I didn't play that.
I'm going to start off. I'm going to say I don't even know what to do. I can't. I can't. I'm not rating it. I'm not giving you one thing I liked. I'm not giving you one thing I hated. The only thing that struck out to me was Final Fantasy VII because I just feel like it's just a recorder. It's like he was just messing around and then sent it in and was like, I can't wait to see him review this.
Well, no, I don't see it like that. I definitely saw that. I feel like I heard times where he
I
came
hope
back.
it's
There was
that.
times where he came back to certain parts and like as if it was a chorus, I mean, so I know there's structure to this. Is it really a song that you're going to sell? Thoughts on Water 3 is the name of the file. So there's 3 times that he went through this track.
Well, I think he said there's 3. Hold on. He said there's
3 other movements to it.
It wasn't bad.
So that was probably the third.
It
I
wasn't
just
bad.
love you, Joe
don't
Klein,
wanna-
and I
don't
love what
wanna
you
rate
do
it
on
'cause-
bass and with Tanner Johns, and I'm honored to have played drums behind you, especially
For
because
sure.
you're awesome.
You are awesome. And you're sexy, Joe.
And whatever you
You're
just
a
did right
sexy
there,
bitch.
it was
Love
super relaxing while I scrolled my phone.
And Joe is here's the thing. I don't know what to rate it because I don't know what I just heard. Like
Think of it just like
it
classical
wasn't bad.
music or like
Yeah,
You guys just need to know that Joe
sound bed
is
music. If you were to
so
to that and threw like some
big
freaking like
in his shoes.
some freaking birds twerk.
I would say the
twerking in
same thing. I would say
chirping in
I
the
feel like I
background,
hear
you would-
Final Fantasy
You'd
VII
be able to
music playing
relax to
behind
that,
me.
dude. It's a sound bed.
I would probably be more listening to it than relaxing to it.
I would get a
because
massage to that.
I would want to hear if it was Final Fantasy.
I would have
VII.
sex to that.
Now I'm
Brian
I'm
Byrne,
really not gonna
get
rate
in
it.
here. Watch this video. I just left your house
let's
before
do this.
Come
Let's
on,
do this.
bud.
Let's just
Costa,
do
what's popping?
Hey, what's up, bud?
Costa, what's good, bro? Let's do a
I'll
round
be
of
over
ratings.
after the
If
drink
I'm going
with
to
you.
rate that for what it was, Joe, I give it a 5. I'm not sure because I don't want to. I'm staying neutral. I'm staying neutral on this one.
Right.
I don't know what to compare that to. I don't really know what I heard. It was cool. It was beautiful, and I'm not sure what you were going for. So I don't really know what to compare that to. Like what is that song going to be used for? I mean, obviously it's not something you throw on your average playlist or mixtape.
He's gonna sell it to Square Enix, bro.
Classical-
There you
Square
go.
Enix.
Sell it to Square Enix.
Do it. They'll buy it. That was good. That was very close.
I mean, there's a lot of piano and clarinet, so it's definitely.
Just like we had 2 out of 10.
Who?
I'm staying.
Who gave you
neutral.
2 out of 10?
I want to give you a 10. I want to give you a 10 out of 2, but I can't do that. So I go 5. Bob, what do you think?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna go 6.5 because I listen to a lot of classical music.
I don't feel like that was classic. Was that classical?
That's not classical.
That's not
Not at
classical.
all.
That was like
It
instrumental.
had that feel to it. So
Well, it's definitely
Easy
they're all
listening.
instrumental.
I can see
That's
Classical's
not easy
instrumental.
listening.
How is that not easy?
Easy
Some of
listening
these
is like different type of music. With
would say-
It
lyrics.
sounded like video game music. Let's admit it.
Yeah, it was video game music.
All right.
So for
It's
what it
sound
was,
bed. Sound bed.
But it was awesome.
Yeah. What?
Don says we need to check Facebook Messenger on the break.
Oh.
We will do that. So this is the break. Joe, we love you,
Now,
man.
what do I
And,
know and
I
feel?
want to give a rating real quick.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
you did. I'm sorry.
I haven't yet either,
Okay.
but
No, I dig it, so I'm going to give it a 7 for Final Fantasy VII because you're my dog, dude.
A 7 from Final Fantasy.
Shout out B.O.B. Hold it down.
Hold it down. I love you, mama. That's so we got some really really odd scores here. So we got 6.5, we got 5, we got 3.
All right, I love you, Joe Klein.
4.
And when I have played with you a couple times, filling in or whatever,
did you not give a
drumming while
rating
you're playing
either?
Bass, I would consider my drums a 2 and your bass a 10.
Oof, no
That
way.
being said, this song,
you're saying
I'm not. It's not my vibe. I'm not interested. And like I said, 100%. This is always an opinion thing. Grain of salt. Take it with that. I'm gonna go 3. I don't really care for that kind of stuff.
Fair is fair. So we have a 3. We have.
I do like
6, we have a
classical music, like Bob was
6.5.
saying, but that's not.
We have a 5.
classical. That's
Well, Joe. One thing to take away from this is the
but it's
Some
fucking
people
cool.
understand you, some people don't.
you did
It's
something
okay.
here, all right? You caused the waves to move, and that's important when making different music. I'll tell you this much, Joe. If I tried to make an instrumental like that, I would fail horribly. So you did a good job for what it was, absolutely. Shout out to Joe Klein.
Yeah, shout out to Joe.
What up, Joe? Oh, it.
Yes. Let's get into the next song. Who we got next?
Yeah, for sure. So next up, we got Jay Wells featuring It's me.
You were on this. You're featured on this track.
Yeah, this must be. Oh my gosh, this is that one.
You look nervous. You're starting to shake.
Oh Lord, you guys
Lord.
understand that none of my songs have ever been on this review because I know they'd all get 2s and 3s.
Man.
But
This is good stuff. This is good stuff.
Now I can't
I'm
avoid
excited to hear this track. So once again, big shout out to Jay Wells and Wellington Downs. I met your sister last night, bro.
yeah, Sarah, man.
Out of nowhere,
Apparently I met her before.
I gotta be honest with you, I was pretty toasty. I was pretty toasty, and then I realized she goes, she said both of our names, and we were like, because we didn't know her like that, and she was like, you DJ'd my niece's birthday party, and I was like, Wells? And she's like, yeah, it's my brother, and I was like, oh shit, now I see the similarities. Very, very nice girl, by the way. She's very, very kind,
It is
and very insightful. Good person to talk to. That being said, we do have a donation structure. If you'd like to donate to the show, please do so at PayPal, Venmo, or Facebook. We really, really appreciate it. Once again, can't say enough about everybody that's donated tonight. And, of course, period towards the show. We are looking at, because of you guys and because of our viewers and everybody, we're looking at bigger and better things, man. We've already been talking to people about studios and different stuff. Right now, of course, we're still in my living room because it's still, I know they just opened up the city here 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the first time that anybody actually got a chance to go out, and last night was crazy at certain bars. Everybody's cooped up, man. They don't want to.
And it's celebratory.
Thanks,
I
Bob.
think that a lot of people went out because it's like, oh, hey, let's celebrate the day where
I'm tired of this shit,
defeated
man.
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
I'm sick of it.
Coronavirus. I'm tired of this shit, man.
Can we get a sample of Cardi B saying that?
I need to get a sample of Cardi B saying that. Coronavirus. I gotta be honest with you, man.
I'm gonna destroy whatever computers.
He hates it when we do that, but honestly, I'm so sick of this shit. I can't tell you how much I wish everybody good health and everything, but I just want to get back to normal, man. I do without getting any more political than we already have. This shit has been a blessing in disguise for most of us, though.
We would never have done this.
Listen, we're scrounging to survive, just like everybody else. But I gotta tell you, we would have never done this. We would never even pulled the trigger on it. It was actually this guy right here that was like, we've been talking about this shit for like 3-4 years. It wasn't this type of show either. It was just
we were talking
doing
about
something.
basic. Yeah. We started off just with a wall. It was.
We've even done tests. I had Zac Conger. We were doing.
You guys tried it out.
We tried it. We tried a little podcast, and some girl was like, "Sounds like a bunch of assholes just yelling over each other." And then we listened to it like, "Shit, she's right."
That's pretty much what it was. When
Zach is back. You want to get Zac Attack back here?
Oop.
The Zac Attack is back, Jack.
Oop. There we go.
Whoa, dude, you look badass on the screen here. I don't know if you can see yourself, but you definitely look like.
Yeah, he's looking real good, dude.
Looking real sexy there, dog.
Looking clean, man. I dig it.
Looking real good. That being said, let's get to our next song, and we got our other guy back. Let's do this
Real quick.
Oh.
No, real quick.
No, I mean leave my house. Go.
No, I planned on it. Actually, this is the reason why. I was.
Please don't tell me
deciding-
you're actually leaving. I'm gonna feel like an asshole.
No. When I was in the bathroom, I realized that you have your toilet paper coming from the bottom and out, and it should be over the top.
Yeah.
Why you gotta call
That
man
was
out?
weird.
First of all,
How are you supposed to do it like that?
I'm gonna waste this discussion. That is
You're
not
gonna give
even
me the
discussion.
yank ideal?
It's not the yank. It's the tear up. Okay, you got it on the front. You pull down. The whole
Are
thing
you gonna
comes
defend
unraveled.
it? I
If
think
you got
that
quick
what happens is
reflex,
that
you can do it
nobody
any
actually
either
said
way.
it out.
I'd like to be able to roll down. That way I'm
Mullets
not
are the way
have
for
shit
toilet
hanging.
paper. They are. Mullets are the way for toilet paper.
You gotta mullet it more.
Right?
You gotta mullet it.
None of this front face emo shit.
Oh,
Okay,
man, it's
mullets.
actually
Let us know in
the
the
patent
comments.
itself says it's supposed to be
What's the
front.
Yes, please do.
I'll clear
It's the
this
correct
up
way
right
to
now.
hang toilet paper.
I can put a poll for that. Actually, it's like the quickest
Not a
thing
fan.
ever.
You don't like the front face?
Not a fan. No, keep it all up in that.
Keep it all up in that.
Okay, that's not a good argument, but
It's not. Here's the thing, man. Water's wet. Toilet paper it needs to be
Water is
dry.
wet.
back.
I mean,
There's a lot of arguments we could discuss here, but I gotta tell you that's not one of them.
And that's like saying fire's dry. Is fire dry?
You know what's I think we can all agree on if we're going to talk about toilet
Fire's
paper.
hot,
It's such
but
a
is it
hot
wet or is it
topic
dry?
these days. Toilet paper is such a hot topic. Everybody's buying it up like crazy, right? Is this if you are a person that uses the last of the toilet paper and does not refill it? Ergo, even if you are a person that does refill it, but you don't put it back on the spindle,
Oh no,
you're a trash person.
You just set the roll on top of the.
I hate that shit. That shit drives me nuts. I have a 15-year-old son. He doesn't remember to put the seat down most of the time, and he pisses on it, and he does all this stuff. That stuff doesn't even bother me. I'm like, he's a 15-year-old boy, you know, he piss on the seat, you know, sometimes you don't see it, you trickle the last drop, whatever. But when you put the toilet paper on top of the empty toilet paper roll,
Oof, yeah.
I want to end your life. It's not just him, it's a lot of people that do it. Drives me nuts.
Is ply spelled P-L-Y?
based on my watch, I gotta
Yeah,
be
why?
somewhere in about 30 minutes. Let's get this
Let's get this
So
rolling,
who we got
guys.
next up, you there?
Yep.
Ethan?
So like, yeah.
It better be somebody with a song called Toilet Paper.
No, it's a song called
Toilet paper
"Get
in my
Lost"
mouth,
by
though.
Jay Wells and Ether.
When
Toilet
this-
paper on the
This
ground.
shadow covers
Oh.
my eye. It looks like I'm like Forrest Whitaker. Like,
Oh man, is
Goo
Forrest
Goo
Whitaker?
Gaga.
Goo Goo Gaga.
Yeah,
Goo Goo
lazy
Gaga.
eyes.
Is Forrest
I
Whitaker
won't
still
be able to
alive?
give
a weak eye.
He's still alive. Yeah, he's
Okay,
still alive.
good. Just making
Forrest
sure.
Whitaker?
Can't...
At the real Forrest Whitaker, if you're watching our show, I love your shit, man.
Oh yeah, I'm alright.
I don't have to get bloody today.
With or without?
I don't have to get bloody today. What movie is that?
I don't know. I've never heard that. I thought you just
All
saying
right.
random.
Who we got next? I'm sorry. I'm
said,
Everybody
I'm
shut
gonna
up.
say
Let's
it
go.
every time. You know, it's "Get Lost" by Jay Wells featuring
See,
myself.
Taylor said you're gonna call a guy on his toilet paper in a live feed. Damn.
Fuck yeah, dog.
Thank you, Taylor.
You best believe it, bud.
You know why? Is because Taylor knows the right way to do it is with the tail in the back. Taylor, tail us everything. All right. What do you think? Because I believe it's predestined. If your name's Taylor, tail's got to be the
Who the fuck is which Taylor?
Taylor McCarty.
Oh, word. Yeah. Dude, Paul doesn't know shit.
See, she says I feel like I do mine upside down like Paul. It unrolls easier. Just saying.
How?
I don't. Let's
I'm
just
just
play
saying.
the song.
Then you have it
Here we go,
hanging
guys.
off the back end. It's weird.
Zach, you bite.
Let me first lay eyes on you. You're glowing, girl, into the warm, into my arms. Keep you from drifting far and sideways. We sway to this world we came in with song. We scripted the play, we're light in the shade. There's no fabrication at all. Get lost without your love. Don't come and we get to pull up, no matter what we do, it's never enough. Can't live without your touch. Don't come and we get to pull up, no matter what we do, it's never enough.
Do you remember how it was before? Do you remember me knocking at your door? I got a little baby, now I'm walking more. In the tub, on the bed, or on the floor. I wanna celebrate you, baby, why can't you see? Don't wanna hear the reasons you can't see me. I get lost without your love and your majesty. Can't live without you touching, it's crippling. Those times you're dancing alone. Do you miss me at all? Yeah. Those times you're sleeping alone. Do you hear my love call?
Time to maintain.
So far,
I'll be honest, man. I dig the beat a lot.
Yeah.
It's a good
I dig the
beat.
beat a lot.
That's cool.
I can't hear your voice for shit.
Nah,
It's a little low. It's not bad. It's a little low.
Ethan's voice is notoriously behind every mix that he's ever been a part of. It's unfortunate.
even my own music. Yeah, it's not. It's just. You guys are.
Yeah,
You guys.
project, bro.
Yeah, project, dog. No, that's just
My
that's
voice
Jackie
is
Blackheart.
raspy.
First of all, that's
Get in
that,
the camera. Go behind them.
That's actually true, but
Get over back there behind them. Be like, hi.
But
When I
Truth
sing,
is-
I'm over the top though, right?
well, but the truth is that part is not. Hey, Alyssa Larson here, owner of Cheeky Cabaret.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
We're getting high fives.
and all,
Chi-Chi.
and owner of
Cheeky
my
Cabaret.
heart.
we go by the nickname Earlobes
Hey,
for her.
Earlobes, okay.
Don't call me earlobe.
And then we have Donovan over here who's doing weird
You little
dance moves.
jackass.
All that he learns on
Iced
TikTok.
out, 50K on my wrist.
Get out of
All
here.
Jesus
let's
Christ.
get back to
These kids
the
these
song. Listen,
Paul's kid is a douchebag.
I would like
What's up with that?
fight him.
Thanks, Dad.
So here's the deal. I would like to hear your voice more over the track. That's all I've got so far. I love the beat. I love the melodies. I actually kind of like the song. It's like literally about fucking. At one point it was.
If we're
At one
Eric,
point it
he
was
wants to have
about
more
fucking.
babies. He
He
wants to
said
have
he
more
wanted to have more
babies.
babies. Man, he's got a baby. Now he wants on the bed, on the floor, on the kitchen, and the
And
kitchen
yeah, and my
counter.
verse pretty much is something like that. It's like I'm just trying not to, I'm trying not to succumb to the freaking the tension that's rising up between the two.
And so you're trying not to have an orgy with them? Is
No,
that what
I'm,
you-
not, I'm trying not to have sex with this different girl. We're having.
You about said dude. You about said dude.
No, I said different girl.
Let's go ahead and play.
Let's get back to it.
Get back to the song.
You almost said dude.
I
All right, let's
almost-
get back to
all
it.
right.
All right, here we go.
For love, no matter what we do, we step up in love. Someone call a doctor. I'm trying to maintain and keep it proper because you weren't satisfied with what I had to offer. But that was my sacrifice, my lamb to be slaughtered. But I have to focus on reality. You're out of my league and far beyond my galaxy. You kept track of all my moves, watching me like calories, believing everything that I said was a fallacy. But actually, your beauty truly is incomparable, and together we really are unstoppable, accomplishing the impossible. I often get lost when I gaze into your optical, and nothing but options as we're crossing all these obstacles. To me, you're antitoxin, keeps me alive and keeps me boxing. Still in the fight, my love for you ain't never stopping, and when you're around, it's guaranteed it's always popping. But lately,
I get lost without your love.
come and we're looking for love. No matter what we do, it's never enough.
Can't live without your touch.
Come and we're looking for love. No matter what we do, it's never enough.
All right.
Oh, easy. All right, I got you.
I loved it, but that is
Keep me boxing, still in the fight.
You know what? I'll be honest with you.
your fault.
I need you to rap more. I need you to rap more.
Go
man.
back to the rap game.
I like it. I like it. Hey, you two, Donovan, do me a favor, shut up, and Zach, let's get back to the show.
Sorry.
Thank you, Donovan. I'm still your father. I can take you out of this world. Okay, I brought you in it.
Oh man, I remember being
Late
hurt
stage
that. That's
abortion,
some
but
real shit.
just
Yeah,
kidding.
so that's what we call it. That's what we call it. Listen, E,
Yo,
I dig it.
Nice.
And here's the thing.
I thought it was cool.
I'm not going to say the song was absolutely well produced because honestly, I feel like it was a little lacking in that.
okay,
Yeah, I could have used some.
But
Chloe.
I dug the song.
right.
I dug the melody. I dug the beat was so just. Everything Wells does is West Coast feel. It really is.
I think he gravitates towards that.
Even the chill shit West Coast is like bouncy. Like I can. That shit gets me going, man. I like it. I like the message of it. I actually, I'm not going to give you a bad score on this, man. I honestly think production's one of my things, so you know that. So I'm gonna dock you for that.
Right, got it.
But that wasn't. But you didn't produce the song, did you?
No, I was on the outside helping to produce like.
All right,
just
so that's not a knock. That's not a knock towards you. However, I do miss a point in time where Ether was a part of. I mean, not even a part of Full Floor Blocker, but with your individual stuff,
Yeah.
was so good, and you have really good melodies, and you rap right, you enunciate, you have those build-ups. I like it. What was the end of that? The end of that last verse?
Dude, it's been so long since I heard that.
He said something like, but whatever, and then it was like,
but lately. I get those lead-ins.
I like that. I like that type of stuff. It's not easy to do in hip-hop music because everybody gets really, really focused on the next lyric, the rhyming of the songs and all that bullshit. It's not just about that. It's about putting the stuff together to make a good song. Shit. I like that about it. I didn't like the production. Bob, like and dislike. Ethan, I might tell you on this one, you do not get to vote on this, nor do you get to put your input until after.
If you're in the song route.
I'm going to vote low, man. I'm going to vote low.
I'm going to vote high on this one. I like it. Go ahead.
Besides a few, mixing things, like you could, Ethan's voice could have been a little higher, and there's a...
in the melody. Yeah.
Right. And I do like the layering was good, and I don't know, all around it's just a good beat. I like it.
Good stuff. Zach, what's your takeaway?
I like the high energy vibe a lot, actually.
Right.
And you guys all have voices for that shit. That was a really good track, honestly.
I agree, man. It was very, very good. Yeah.
Ethan, you have a really good voice for anything, and it just seems like...
you're a good egg.
Well, no, it just seems like everything you're a part of, like, vocally, like, you're behind the mix too much. And it's like, I don't know if that's like a you thing where you're just like, pull me back, or like, especially in your own shit where you pull yourself back.
Zach, to clarify, you're talking about the melody, not the hip-hop, the rap part, or are you talking about both?
I'm just talking about Ethan's vocals right now, in general.
Just in life. When you talk and you don't have a microphone.
Yeah, it's just like, Ethan, you're so talented. You have a really good voice.
Thanks.
And you need to be putting it more forward. And the other night we were talking about Ethan singing more soulfully instead of trying to
right, that's right. You were doing
do this.
Ethan
like
does this shit.
He tries.
Do...
So like a male naturally sings like an octave higher than their normal speaking voice. And Ethan is trying to go like 4 octaves higher all the time. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you are a good
but that's because he's so creative. He can't.
Yeah, exactly.
He's always pushing the boundaries. I love that about you.
You guys are just making me feel
Listen,
so
we're jerking your proverbial
But the song itself, overall, I like the high energy vibe.
Give it a rating. What do you got?
I like the way it felt, and it made me like feel like in a good, comfortable party setting almost. I'm gonna go 6.5. 6.5. Because I know you, and especially with all you're doing right now with the show and everything, your production skills are high enough. You should, if you're a part of something or if it's your own artwork, you should still be making sure that you know that product is going to be good.
How long ago did you guys 6.5 make this song?
That was what year is it now?
2020, dog.
Okay, so it would have been 20.
Yes, Taylor, like this Ethan.
It would have been 2017. Yes, this Ethan.
Ethan Eicher.
So this is like 3 years ago. So
Ethan Eicher, 1992, real.
Sound mixing.
Well, no, I've always been doing sound mixing since I've been recording myself since fucking forever, man. Since day one, I've just not been good at it until as it goes, I get better as I go along. This was when I was in the midst of doing my 2015 Matinee Jane, All the Rage, album.
Matinee Jane.
Matinee Jane. I love that. I just like that name, dude.
And then
that song was good.
No, thanks. And Aaron was doing rap, and we just met up, and he was doing rapping. No,
he was doing rapping.
I met up with him through.
Call me Christopher Rappins.
Christopher Rappins.
It's an inside joke from Bitback. All right, so listen.
Winnie the Dude.
I'm going to give this. I'm going to give it a 7, and here's the reason why. The production is the only thing holding that back from a 7.5 or an 8. Okay. Honestly, the lyrics were good, the music was good, the production was a little off. I feel like that's just the case, though. I mean, like
that's typically my story.
It's not just.
We don't have to do,
but you didn't produce this.
A whole number or a 0.5. We can do like in between.
No,
you can do in between.
6.4. 6.4.
You can't do a 6.4. That's rookie shit.
0.5. That's rookie shit.
That's rookie shit. You don't do rookie shit on the show, Zach.
Or 0.
Listen, I dug everything about it, and honestly, I just felt like it was put together a little bit incorrectly. Like if this was, I'm going to bring back the Lego thing. If this was a Lego statue, a couple of the wrong blocks in the wrong spots. Other than that, man, it was a really good song. You know what I liked about that song the best?
And Jay Wells' voice was great.
He said it. Zach hit on it. It made me feel like it was like a Jay fucking Wells, like shed all your fucking stuff and you go to this party and just having a good time. You shed all your work and everything. You're going to this party and I can just vision everybody just kind of like dancing around.
It's a random song with like
everybody's got cups,
a beat in the background. You know what I mean?
Dude, I can't wait till we can have house parties again. This is a very house party
Just
song.
straightforward.
Absolutely.
Rolling
very,
on.
A very an upper echelon house party song too. I feel like that's the thing that
good,
Wells.
yeah.
Here's the thing that Wells always brings with his beats and his music. He always brings that
classiness.
taste, that classiness, that
Yeah.
champagne bubbliness. That you. It's hard to throw into a track.
It's
It's
maturity,
hard.
man. It's got
It's hard
actual
to
maturity.
be like Mac Miller, but no one will
And
ever
that
be that way.
auto tune, baby.
So
I
we're
love
gonna
that shit, man.
download that fucking VST tune.
It's all right. We'll get auto tune on the show, Bob. Give it a rating.
Yeah, 6.5, man.
Rock on.
6.5.
Solid song.
Yes, I see you, boy. I see you,
know-
boy.
I
Let's
see
go.
you, baby.
If it weren't for my,
Good tracks,
if it weren't
good
for my
scores.
vocals and my lyrics, I would rate this way higher. But I gotta be realistic, man. I'm rated a 2.
You don't get to rate it anything.
No, Ethan, you're not on the rate.
Oh, my explosion! I wish I was
Explosions.
prepared
You
for
can't
that.
rate a
Explosions all
song
over
you're
your
a part
face.
of, dude.
Explosions! I got explosions. You guys.
I didn't rate the Camp Comfort songs.
This is the war zone right now.
Fuck.
All right, we're
All
done.
right, that's enough of that.
Next one.
Moving on.
Bob
next
hates
up-
everything.
I have somewhere to be here
He's
shortly,
like, what is
guys.
this? A sound?
He's not happy
a
with
sample?
what we're doing at all.
I don't like it. What's the next one?
Next up, we got Bud Holly back in the game with a track called "Nice to Meet You."
Let's go. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I expect some good shit from this.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's hear it.
I'm shaking hands with the stars. Knew it was meant to be. Summers that seem.
I think we've done that one
I
already.
think we have done that one
Must have
already.
got mixed up.
Yeah, I've
Well,
It's all
definitely
right,
heard
it's all
that
right.
one
That's
on here
house back in
already.
the mix. No big deal.
Whiskey Sour is the other one on here, but I'm pretty sure we were.
We got Costa
This
Miller. We
was
still
2
got
nights ago. I was here,
yeah.
and you played it.
Okay,
So-
so we're gonna get Costa Miller.
a little background that we just learned about Costa. We don't know him personally because he lives in South Africa. He's 16 years old. He makes all his own beats, and he's fucking incredible. That's pretty much all I can tell you about him because I don't know anything else about him. I just know what he's said on the show, and I know he's phenomenal, and he's just
Cool cat, man.
instrumental, but you're going to dig it. All of his instrumentals are very crispy, very clean, and I like that. I'm looking forward to this track right here. So once again, if you guys like to donate to the show, please do so.
Costa, looks like you sent me a duplicate, buddy.
Hey, and if you wouldn't like to donate to the show, please do so anyway.
Yeah, or don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you. Here's the deal: $5 to $25 gets you bumped up in the line.
What was really big?
$30 gets you next, and $50 for back-to-back submissions. However, if you just want to donate to the show, not unlike a lot of our awesome viewers do, just to see us go a little bit further with this and give a bigger platform to do more music.
And we love you.
We love you. You make it possible. So please, if you want to do that, check out the description above or the description below. The ticker above will tell you PayPal, Venmo, or Facebook, and it's all very, very much appreciated. Can't put enough into what I'm saying there. It really means the world to us.
Right.
It does. I'm gonna get sentimental right now. It means the world to us, and it does.
We really do love you.
We will start. I mean, the show's expanding, man. We while we're waiting for Ethan to pull up this track, anyways, we are. It's all good. We are doing everything we can to bring more content to the show. We have a lot of ideas in place. We're not sure we're taking this. Once again, we're new, man. We're new as fuck with this shit. None of us are new to any of this actual stuff that we're doing. He didn't finish. Zach, what the fuck, man?
What?
I mean, either do it or don't. I mean, shit.
Don't be teasing us.
All right,
I'm
so
sorry.
next up we got real.
It's like birthday cake with no icing.
I'll finish right before I have to leave, and then I won't leave because I'll die.
Next
You
up
don't
we
say
have
that all the
Marcus
time.
Mason with a track called
autoerotic
Sorry.
asphyxiation.
No, yeah,
Is that
real
what you call it?
autoerotic asphyxiation. Yeah, dude.
It's called Real MC.
The track is called "Real MC" by an artist who goes by
Turn up that
Marcus
sub.
Mason.
Marcus Mason's been on the show all night.
Turn the sub
Let's
up.
check it out. Here we go. Marcus
Oh, you're
Mason.
just using it as a table.
Shit. Niggas talking shit. Over any beat I seek and destroy. Any MC can compete with this boy. The bullshit you speak I would not record. Should be ashamed I mostly ignore. Most rappers cause more and more claim hardcore but their lights are porn. Told you before when I wrote the song. Shit gets dark but don't lose control. Cause you don't know what the future holds. Maintain your focus, don't give up hope. Life is short, gotta make the most of what you got before you go. Before I'm ghost, I feel I'm supposed to go as hard as I can and expose. On top of the tunes and styro bones with your toxic, ironic logic. No, vengeance on the beat, supplying that dope. You already know I'm a wilderness pro. highly intelligent, stupid flow. Who else could it be other than Marco? Or challengers, step up, let's go. If you think twice, you think too slow. Tell you didn't want any part from the start. Temple of Doom, I will snatch your heart. In the street, niggas worshiping a false god. I've arrived to pull all your cards. I despise everything you are. Dare one of you try to stop me. Fuck you and Illuminati. Sending shots all through your body. I think y'all took too much Molly. Think it's Scarface and John Gotti. Day in the life of a real MC. Transfer thoughts on notebook sheets. Vocalize ideas on beat. Open eyes and you will see what we write your poetry. Power through freedom of speech. Shower you with words and teach. We foster creativity. Day in the life of a real MC. Transfer thoughts on notebook sheets. Vocalize ideas on beat. Open eyes and you will see what we write your poetry. Power through freedom of speech. Shower you with words and teach. We foster creativity. Vocabulary similar to Webster. Rap on a level that you can never measure. Don't disrespect us. You better know better. My flow is so cold, drip, you better girl sweater. I write on my line, scribble every letter, cause no one can capture my mind or my message. I get in the zone, become fully invested. Strive for greatness, can settle for lesser. Attack anyone that is resembling an Edmund Pettis. Get shredded like lettuce. Within our own music is buried a treasure. Gold mines in these lines I'm manifesting. Then did it again, your beats are a blessing. We continue winning, strive for perfection. Try to keep our heads in the right direction and turn away from societal pressure. Or be anything other than what God intended for me. I got to be me, got to believe and have faith in my ability. You niggas is weak, copy everything. Do you ever stop and think that possibly you might receive more love for your artistry? Being you near what I'm saying and the shit I be laying in better than most niggas in entertainment. Most of their flows is bogus and brainless. They don't want to go toe to toe with Mr. Mason. Knew I was dope way back in the basement. Little ass nigga, no joke, I was hanging with the grown men in the studio training. Master my cadence, now graduated on Meadow Drive. Every day I be down in the studio spitting on the mic. Fight through the lows, try to get it right. Up late night, trying to figure out a line. Hard to articulate what's going through my mind. Knew that I bloom over time. To you, I'm just some dude who can rhyme. If you can't see, I'm the truth, you blind. Day in the life of a real MC. Transfer thoughts on notebook sheets. Vocalize ideas on beat. Open eyes and you will see what we write your poetry. Power through freedom of speech. Shower you with words and teach. We foster creativity.
All right, so there's a lot of differentiating opinions, as you can see right now, going on. Zach, don't go too deep. We still got some track left.
We got 2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes.
This is about a 4.5.
It's a long ass song.
That's a long song.
Anyway, cadence is super good. I like the cadence. It's actually better than a lot. So cadence is actually where a lot of like rappers, in my opinion, fall off. But it's super low quality, low production. And I can't understand the lyrics, so I'm gonna just say I don't care about them, if I'm being honest.
I mean, that's fair.
Because it's so muffled and like on a bad quality recording, and that's fine. Like I said, it's not that expensive to, you know, and I don't know someone else's lifestyle or where they're at.
Right. I'm not going to like
for talk about money that you can put into recording, like, but
I'm going to give them
so far I'm not loving
for bad production.
what I'm hearing. The beat itself and the actual
muddy
rapping is good from like an outside. If I'm like, I feel like I'm on the other side of a wall where my friend's in his bedroom bumping this,
and you can hear it.
That's how I hear it.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
Hearing it in person.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
So
I'm gonna say, dude has got skills.
Definitely,
he does.
That dude's got skills. Okay, to put those syllables, those just the B's and the P's and the T's. So B's and the P's and the T's, the B's and the T's and the T's and the P's. You have to.
You just did that. Cadence isn't really like.
I mean, but that's the thing though, is that it's not easy for one to write lyrics like that.
I can do this. I can say that. I can move like this when I'm trying to rap.
It reminds me of Lil Dicky, man. It reminds me of Lil Dicky's freestyle when he was on Sway. You know, it was just like and you know what? It's I will say this: to do that, you have to have skill, because even Zach over here, as much as he's tearing you apart, he can't rap like that. I can't rap like that.
I don't believe that even for a second. I mean, definitely do that.
You can definitely do that, like as well as that dude was doing.
How can I
not write the lyrics first?
How can you gotta
write the lyrics first before it makes sense.
So is this a freestyle then?
Well, if somebody came up a freestyle to you like this dude is doing right now,
then
you'd be like, damn, fire.
I'd be pretty stoked.
Damn, fire.
So is that a freestyle?
But to be fair on this thing, the dude's got mad skills, and I do think that the song is a little cheap because it's just like rhyme and a rhyme and a rhyme and a rhyme. But if you were listening to the lyrics a little bit, they do make a little bit of sense. They make sense. They just don't hit. They don't hit home like
and once again, coming from different perspectives as a drummer, like I'm hearing fucking da 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 da, and it's very Run the Jewels ish, like how they consistently run that same thing, but they're way faster and doper. Not to talk shit or put you down. I'm sorry, I don't mean it like that, but it's just like you can do it like a even like the way Kendrick Lamar just enunciates and does his cadences is so like that's why he got a fucking Pulitzer Prize. Like it's like you could do instead of a da 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 you can go da 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 da.
I mean, it's easy to make that observation, Zach. It's easy to make that observation, though. But I mean, until you're actually doing it, it really doesn't make a difference. You know what I mean? Like that's the point. Is that he's doing this now. He needs to get better for sure. But until you actually do it and write it down, you can't get better anyways, right? Right. So depending on where he's at in his career, what kind of equipment he has, I don't want to play any more of the song.
Okay.
I don't want to play any more of the song. I do feel like it's too long. I feel like we just heard 2.5 minutes of just straight spitting.
Right.
I'm going to say this. Somebody said it in here earlier. He's got lungs. The man's got lungs.
Yeah.
He's got lungs. To be able to rap like that is a skill.
We don't even know that though.
I mean,
because you can clip in.
We could, but I'm going to give him the credit for it because I mean, I'm not going to say this is all one take, but I'm going to give him the credit for it as an artist.
Sorry, hip hop is like my favorite animal of music, so it's just
fuck yeah, man.
I believe it, and everybody feels passionately. All right, so Zach and I kind of already went over our likes and dislikes about it. Let's start with Bob.
Yeah, well, I mean, my big takeaway is obviously going to be the recording quality wasn't very good.
It was not.
It was very muffled and
foggy. I'd use the word. You use the word foggy during the. Yes, foggy.
It was muddy, foggy. It just wasn't. I mean, I don't know if they're just using cheap equipment and that's all they have. Then that's not a knock on them per se. So
no.
Right.
But even cheap equipment, you can tell when it's off. You can tell when the production's off. Even if you're using a Tascam from the 80s, you can still tell when it's off.
I really didn't like the major chords.
Hard to return, hard to react. Hard to say it sounds good when it's crap.
It didn't sound like it fit. I would have gone with like a minor chord instead. Just keep it like, because it was like a grungy beat, and then it got all like. And they tried
it was a very like weird major.
To be real,
upbeat major chord in there, just like ding ding. It just
I didn't touch on that either. To be real, I feel 100% the same way you did. It's just like all this. That switch wasn't needed. You could have kept the same beat, and nobody would have got any difference of
it, or switch the keys up, or pull away from it. Drop down from a major to a minor.
And where was the bass line in there too? It wasn't much of a bass line. It was just kind of like
I could hear it. Our monitor is kind of blocking us with it. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it was that because it was there. It was just real faint.
If it was real faint, yeah. I mean, then you guys.
And it kind of went with it kind of went with the production too.
One more thing I want to say. I have no idea where these guys are from, but I'm assuming
they're actually from here. They're local.
Okay, yeah. And that's.
If I'm not mistaken, no, it's actually a group of people. So we heard a couple of different people on the track. Some of them are from Colorado. Some are from Nebraska. Some are from South Dakota.
Okay, but they're generally like Midwest.
Generally Midwest, yeah.
That's one thing that when I was listening to the lyrics, and like if you're from Rapid City and you're singing about going to the hood and going to the club, and like we don't, like
it's still that's still all perspective.
I get it. I get it.
And it's all performance. I agree with that.
But like, it doesn't fit. If you're not living that life, don't sing about it.
All right, so I'm going to disagree a little bit on that.
I'm going to disagree on that too.
I'm going to disagree a little bit on that, but we're not going to go into it. And that's everybody's opinion.
But as an artist,
my thing is this: is that I agree with what he said about the drop. There was a weirdness to that. There was just like all of a sudden it was like with this like piano in the background. It was weird. It threw me off.
It did.
That being said, Ethan, what do you got?
I've never been much of a fan of like for machine gun style rapping. It's just not my jam, but I'm not opposed to it. I think that for that beat, it worked perfectly. I mean, it worked perfectly. Your choice of rhythm, your enunciation obviously is on point. The precision of your words and your rhymes was definitely on point. The lyrics, I guess, if that's what you're really feeling in your life, I'm just saying. These words have probably been said millions of times in hip hop.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of like the thing. So I would classify the lyrical precision as above average, right? Because it's not an easy thing to do.
Lyrical precision.
The lyrical
I like that.
creativity I would set at standard average, no doubt. That beat, that change up, no big deal. If you made that beat, though, it would make sense for that change up because you're experimental. You just see if it works.
Trying it out.
If you guys made that beat, then the majority of that beat is pretty good.
One time I've heard a change up work, and it was in Mad City by Kendrick Lamar, and that's.
I mean, and that's the thing too, is it all depends on what kind of like
halfway through the song, the whole beat changes up, and the song continues on being.
The reason we didn't play the rest of it though is literally because I think we all agree, and Zach included here, that it was too long. Hip hop songs need to be hip hop songs especially need to be between 3 and 4 minutes. There's no reason to go off. I mean, I don't care how many lyrics you have. Save some of them from the next track.
Yeah. Once again, Mad City was like 5, I think 5:12 or something
That's
like
Kendrick
that.
Lamar, bro.
But it was Kendrick Lamar.
It's Kendrick
yeah.
Lamar.
It was
That's like a Tupac.
I couldn't
Tupac's-
stop listening because it's a
even
story that I want
Tupac's,
to hear.
and I'm
It's
a
like,
big
holy
Tupac fan.
fuck.
Right.
Even Tupac's "All Eyes
Right,
on
dude.
Me" was 4.5 minutes, and I always cut it off early because the lead out's too long and stuff like that. While I'm listening to it, I'll go to the next track. It's just hip hop songs. They need to spit flame and then put it out.
Yeah.
You know, go hard
Yeah.
and then be done. I mean, if that's track.
And I only said
There's
that because
other
I just
tracks
don't
that are
want
different.
anyone to think that like there's like this like set exact amount of time. Like
No.
they put a
No.
fucking 7-minute song on your show.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to do that. That doesn't mean they're gonna hate it or be against it. That's
No,
all.
think
I'm
about the
trying
normal
to clarify.
composition of a song.
You know, always
Yeah, but yeah, if you're
submit no
7
matter
minutes, it's
what.
gonna have to
'cause
be-
Well, think about
you
the normal
never know.
composition of a song, right?
It's
The normal
art.
composition of a song has solos, has breakdowns, and stuff like that. If you're in a band, you know, you have like a drum solo or a guitar solo, stuff like that adds into the song. In hip hop, you don't have any of that. So what I'm wondering is why so long? You know what I mean? Like a 5.5 minute song from a band.
Unless you have like multiple rappers and they're trying to get like full 1630.
I kind of got that
1632s
Cypher feel, but I
with
didn't
a
hear
long
anybody
chorus.
else.
Well, we got the. I thought I heard the one guy.
Sounded kind of all the same to me too.
There was
Like,
another
I thought
person,
Yeah, and then
but
there-
I didn't. I was the first person.
There was a first person, then there was a
There
second
was a
person.
second. That's right.
who
So
did
that being
rap
said,
differently. If I'm not mistaken, I might be tripping.
let's kick this thing in the ass. Round of ratings. Bob, start.
Give me that 6.5.
6.5. I'm gonna give it a 6, and I'm gonna give it because of the lyrical ability. I think, bro. I mean this. If you're watching, that guy, whoever the guy, the second part, in the very beginning,
Yeah.
you got skills, bro. You just need to polish them up, man.
Fuck yeah.
And you got to throw them behind the right beat. That's it. I
Right.
mean, you got.
And
You're
maybe turn
definitely
it down
talented.
just a little bit. I think with your vocals may have been like way too in front of the rest of the instrumental. In my personal opinion,
What do you give it?
I'm gonna give it a solid 5.
Solid 5. So you got 5, 6, 6.5. Zach,
I'm going 5 with Ethan on this one.
just average.
And that's I feel like I'm being generous on that.
I feel like you are too because you were kind of ripping apart earlier.
I'm gonna be mean. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be.
No, I know you're
I'm
not. You're just
actually.
being
I feel like
honest.
I'm more generous
Right.
than you guys are usually. But like
We like you. We like
I
you on the show for that
really
reason. Zach.
love hip hop a lot, and that was just garbage to me.
Well, then you gave it a 5. You said it was average.
That's me being generous. I
Okay.
said.
Well, then you said garbage, so you kind of cheapened your score.
It's pretty fucking garbage.
It was not garbage. It was definitely not garbage. Zach knows that. He just speaking a little loose tonguely.
I do not
Over
believe
here.
that at all.
Mick loose tongues.
I would say this at any time of day, any time of my life.
You don't think that guy has any rapping ability that's decent, worth
No,
a
I
good
think
track?
that everyone. I see. That's why we differentiate so harshly. Is I don't think anyone doesn't have any ability. You can be better and learn anything you want to do.
In a
and
sense.
I'm not saying he doesn't have an ability.
Well, you're not scoring it.
I can.
You're not scoring the ability. You're just saying the track was garbage. You got to score the
He's talking
ability a
about
little bit.
the overall score of the song.
Let me just put it this way:
the
like you
lyrics
can
get a 6,
fucking
but the beat
have
gets a 2,
like the
you know?
greatest
Average
idea
it
in
out.
the world, but ideas are a dime a dozen. And if you can't fucking execute it, then
I agree with that.
doesn't
but I mean,
exist.
your score of
So-
5, I'm not arguing with. I think
so
5
that
is a good
guy
score. I mean, that's
doing a song with someone that has better ability to produce his vocals, to make his beats, to make that shit sound dope, I would give it fucking way more. And I would say his rap ability is way higher, but his rap ability or his hip hop
on this track
vocal
is a little bit
ability
shitty. Okay, I got you.
is not the same until he allows himself to know he should meet this. The whole industry is a whole different thing. This is like not just song by song, by the way. That's how I view it in my head. So like you should, especially as a hip hop artist, like either figure out how to fucking make beats, produce, record vocals, and edit them yourselves.
Some
or you
people
should
just
fucking
rap,
know
bro.
people that do it.
Some people just rap though.
So so I'm gonna listen to a song that's dope as fuck, like Bud Holly and fucking our boys put out a song that's highly produced, well paid for, and fucking done right, and I give that a fucking 9, and it's not even like all the way up to fucking standard. And then someone who fucking records a phone vocal like I just heard with a fucking like random beat that's all muffled and shit, and then I have to fucking just try to like somehow even those out.
Well, that's on you. That's your score. I'm not saying there's no problem with your score. You gave it a 5. I think 5 is a fair score for the song. I didn't think it was too far above average, but I mean, you're tearing them apart for things that are, I mean, we can't see. They're unknowns. Like, I don't know this guy's backstory. I don't know if he was the one that did the beat. I don't know who produced it.
Right.
But I do know one thing. I
Oh
know,
shit! I'm sorry.
I know the guy on the
my
track.
bad, guys. I
is
didn't
fire.
realize that we had to ask what hood they're from and like what kind of money their family makes.
Why you gotta do that?
Why you gotta do that right
well,
now?
then what? That was garbage.
It wasn't garbage.
It was a garbage song.
Zach, you as a musician, I'm disappointed with that statement. You know goddamn well that wasn't garbage.
I am literally
if you
not
want to
the
say it was
type of person
below
to ever
average,
say that, but
if you would say
hip-hop is
below
a very
average,
serious
that's
thing to me.
fine. But
That
it was
was
definitely not garbage.
not good.
It was definitely not garbage. Disregard him on that one
I
because
will
it was
never-
not garbage. I think we can all agree on that. I'm not accepting your score of garbage. It's not even a real score.
No, my score's 5.
You gave it a 5. That's not garbage. That's average.
How's that average? That's halfway.
That's average.
No, that's not what. That's a median. Average is not the same
you just
thing.
you just rolled
What is
over the medium
average
and wrecked
score
your
of what
car.
the
No,
scores
we're not talking
we
about
get?
the average number.
The average
We're
of
not
my
talking about the
scores is
average
probably like an
number,
8.
dude. We're not talking about the average
That's
number. It's
that's
the
a
average,
low end on my
average
scores.
quality, average quality of the song. That's what we mean by
So
average.
we are going off
Let's
on a
move on.
tangent.
Let's
We are
move on.
Moving on.
That's a 5. Move on.
So next up, we got Jay Randy.
Ooh.
This track, "I Love My City."
Zach will say it's garbage. You ready for this?
Fuck no, I love Jay Randy's
All right,
shit,
here we go.
dude.
I love my city, I do. God knows I love my city. Even though the police be fucking with you, I still love my city. And the public schools ain't shit. Rich folks still get rich. And if you poor, they treat you like a bitch. Oh Lord, I still love my city. I always been against all the things that I preached, but now I understand why them dealers on the streets get that money, make that dough, laugh with the bitch, but you live off the pole. Should I work hard and have no hope, or should I get money, get cars, and sell dope? Sometimes I feel like, what am I here for? Sometimes I feel like I don't even hit home. And I ain't saying that your son don't believe in you, but it's hard trying to live when I ain't seeing you. Look at all of the things that we go through. I don't wanna be here, rather be with you. God knows I love my city, yes I do. I'm so tired of the shit we do. Kill our own blood, kill our own fam. Love being a big nigga, money for the man. I love my city, I do. God knows I love my city. Even though the police be fucking with you, I still love my city. And the public schools ain't shit. Rich folks still get rich. And if you poor, they treat you like a bitch. Oh Lord, I still love my city. And everybody talk about how we should go and help Syria. But what about Chicago? Ain't nobody helping them. Over in Oakland, we call that baby a rat. You got these babies killing babies, mostly babies on crack. And these babies is black. Yo, when you learn that, he never had no pop, so he listened to niggas that rap. Fuck the street code, don't live for that bullshit. No, this not gospel, but I tell the truth like this a pulpit. Real shit, what happened to the people Dr. King dreamed of? What happened to the folks that Malcolm X died for? We lost. A homie, you gon' floss? You go and kill your brother, then you call yourself a boss? What type of shit is that? I'm feeling like I'm lost for words. It's like I wanna take actions to how I'm lost for verbs. Lord, send your son, cause we need a word. We can't see the future, our visions is awful blurred. I love my city, I do. Lord knows I love my city. Even though the police be fucking with you, I still love my city. And the public schools ain't shit. Rich folks still get rich. And if you poor, they treat you like a bitch. Oh Lord, I still love my city.
We want to pause it real quick. We forgot to pause it midway, which once again is part of the copyright thing.
Yeah.
Jay Randy, fire. I mean, I don't know.
Dude,
I love his soulful voice.
Ah.
Yeah, I do. I just love his soulful voice. And honestly, this is one of my least favorite of Jay Randy's songs. I've actually heard this one before. So
I enjoy this
I'm not
one
going
a
to give it a rating because I don't feel like that'd be fair to be biased about it. However, I will say this. All of us, Zach, Bob, Ethan, myself, we've all heard Jay Randy do this shit.
Which I didn't hear any of Jay Randy's music until we started doing this show, man.
Which is interesting because we've all known Jay Randy.
No, I know,
Jay
but I
Randy.
just never knew. And then all of a sudden he's like, Jay Randy sent me this song. I'm like, oh shit, who's he sending it for? And he's like, it's his own music. I'm like,
You
I
know
didn't
what's
even know
funny
Jay
though?
Randy made music.
When you say that, Ethan, I actually hadn't heard Jay Randy's music. when I first met him. Like when I first met him, me and Paul were like trying to do all these like random like events and shows with him and shit.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
I hadn't heard his music then, and then I heard it like.
Well, he quit.
few
Here's the
months
thing
after
you guys
meeting
got to
him.
realize is that he quit making music right after.
Yeah.
because he wanted to be an agent.
Right after we, like,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
after we met him, but after.
And started doing
then we
more
met him,
events and
then
booking and all that
He started
stuff.
going to production, but he said he's coming back, man. So I can't
I
wait.
hope
All right.
so, dude.
Let
Let's
me get
listen,
involved
to
in
the
that.
rest of it, man.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
about 30 to
Awesome.
40 seconds left. Let's hear it.
I love my city, I do. Lord knows I love my city. Even though the police be fucking with you, I still love my city. And the public schools ain't shit. Rich folks still get rich. And if you poor, they treat you like a bitch. Oh Lord, I still love my city.
All right. And don't quote me on that. I think this is the track. I shouldn't have spoke so liberally earlier with this. I believe this is the track that Caleb Britton is actually on, and so is Johnny Hastings, but I'm not sure. That was a great track.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rate it, man. You guys go ahead with your takes. E, why don't you start?
Dude, I love the freaking chorus. You know, I love my city. I do, even though it's like, well, I can't remember exactly what he said, but pretty much even though it's pretty much trying to come out and get me, dude. Even though you love your city, even the sound of the song itself was mournful, and it was.
He does such a good job with that, man. I love that. I love the tracks.
And it's so soulful.
It's an homage to the average Joe who's stranded. In
Previously,
the
I thought he was like a
homeless
hip hop
because he's
artist.
Been robbed blind by the capitalist system.
Yeah,
I don't even know what you just said at the end there, but I agree. And that's how that song made me feel. So I would just agree
it was
with
nighttime
anything.
and raining like Blade Runner.
It was, but it was also motivational. Like you said, you know, I'm not going to rate it. I'm not going to go in, but that's the thing I love about Jay Randy's music, man. Jay Randy somehow makes the great rappers. I'm going to say this real briefly. Tupac, the reason I'm a big Tupac fan, the reason I'm a big Biggie Smalls fan, the reason I'm a big Nas fan, DMX. Some of them differentiate in the way this I feel with this, but they make the song feel like it's about you. And you can visualize yourself either in their shoes or doing something that they're doing at the time. And Jay Randy just captures that somehow in a bottle. It's like lightning in a bottle, and he just does a great job with it. And this is so when he came out with the song, he'd been doing this for 4 years. Then he stopped. 4 years, then he stopped.
And I agree with that. Like he captures like a cultural feeling, and it doesn't matter what culture you're from. It's crazy.
It's the essence of it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And the people want more.
He's really got essence of music, man. He just
And like I was saying, I thought he was like a hip hop artist.
doesn't sound like his track.
When I met Jay Randy, because he always has put on hip hop shows and a lot of events like that. And then like I looked up his stuff after we had met and done all that stuff with me and you, Paul, and him.
Yeah, right.
And then I was like, wow, he's just an artist.
Yeah.
I mean, we had some really high scores. 8 out of 10, love it. 7, 7.5, 8.5.
He just got this soulful vibe, and it's incredible. It like reminds me of other artists that like come out of a hip hop influence, like you were saying, Nas and shit. Like that. It's just like
it just comes natural,
and it doesn't matter. Like even though they're speaking from their own perspective, especially about their own like influences and how they grew up and their own cultures, like it's so relatable to everyone that it's like because it's so humanistic.
It's right down the alley, man.
It
really is. It's right down the middle, man.
It's really, and I can't rate it either because I did.
We've all kind of heard this one. Can we give a collective score?
I didn't hear it.
Can we give a collective score, Ethan? What would your score be?
I'm gonna give this song just because I miss these types of mournful fucking songs like this, these bluesy urban jams.
Mournfully ambitious,
but mournful in general. It's okay to be mournful, and I think that it's. But it's also being like, you know, this is I love it, man. Straight up, I'm gonna give this one a solid 7.
Solid 7.
All right.
I'm gonna up that. I'm gonna say collectively a 7.5.
Yeah,
I respect Ethan's opinion on that too. But I mean, I dig one of the things that stands out about me and Jay Randy is production and the way the track's laid out. And what was you said? The arrangement.
Yeah.
The arrangement of the song is what gets me, man.
Yeah.
And for all those reasons that I don't think this is one of his better songs that he's come out with.
Right.
I think it's one of the best ones because of the fact that right there is
Let me get Zach's nipple right here. Let me get that.
Get it. Touch it.
All right, that right there.
Do the thing where it's just scrolling.
I don't want to be lumped in with that,
Remember
like,
that?
speaking for everybody thing. My rating, if I was going to give it one, which I'm not, would rhyme with men. But
Men.
Yeah.
Zach just throwing out men.
Yep.
Willy-nilly.
I'm not going to give it a
I
rating.
see what you're saying now.
What is this?
This is the future poll. This is the
But
future.
no,
Zach,
seriously.
can I see what we're doing
Jay
right now?
is, I don't know why he stopped doing that, because after I met him, he had already been done doing music like that, and it was like, why? Dude?
Conger, the
That was-
business, the whole shandango.
And if we're going like, if we're going about like the more like
How do we get
shallow
off of
parts
this
of it,
crazy
he has the
ride?
look for it, the voice, the vibe, the feel.
It really is. It's all that, man.
yeah.
He captures that so well.
Jay's dope.
I'm not big on the song because Jay's from Oakland.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But I can't relate to the "I love my city" part because
Yeah.
Oh,
the
you don't
song
like
fucking
Oakland?
sucks.
I don't, and I'm not.
Wait,
we're not
I'm a
gonna talk
Chiefs
on
fan.
rapping.
I don't like Oakland either.
We're not going to
but-
talk on rapping.
I see.
Things about this city are not as what I was trying to go with, Bob. You fuck. Things
I
about
love the Black Hills. don't get me
things
wrong.
about this
It-
city are not relatable to the city of Oakland.
Yeah,
That's what I
that's
was
true.
trying to
It's
say.
really hard to figure out.
So when
exactly
Jay's
what's
coming
what.
through and he's going, "Hey, listen, I love my city, but there's drugs. I love my city, but there's violence. I love my city, but I hear gunshots everywhere I go. Things are this way, things are that way." We can't relate to that because Rapid City is nowhere near Oakland. Oakland's just.
I ain't never even
it's
seen
brick-
California, man.
It's bricks and concrete and just across
Bridges.
the bridge is like paradise.
Yeah,
In palm trees,
What are you
right?
talking about?
You guys
San
wanna move
Francisco's
on,
a
or-
shithole
Well,
now.
right now it is.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, that's true. San Francisco's got a huge homeless population.
Love you,
Take back
Jay.
what I said.
Love you, Jay.
Well, pretty much every
Eagles
big
and-
city.
Great song.
But across the way is San Diego, and that shit's
From Oakland?
I mean, across the way. I said. I didn't say
Oh, okay,
right
okay,
next to.
okay.
It's quite a ways away.
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say
across
half
the
of
quite a
fucking
ways
state.
away,
It's like half the state.
there's San Diego. I'm trying to make sense of what I said.
Hey, but way down south is Antarctica, guys.
You know what though? And that
Yeah.
place is not beautiful at all.
No,
so
they
we
got
can
blood
relate
fall.
to that.
Hey, I mean, that's
pretty metal.
I rate-
Nobody says,
rate
"I love
Antarctica
Anchorage,
10 out
I
of
do."
10.
Anchorage, Alaska is the place for me. Nobody ever says that shit. You know,
Have you ever been there?
All right,
Maybe it's the
let's
jam.
move forward.
we don't have any more move forward. I think we
this is
we've
the
been
end,
up
We're
limit.
at 3 hours.
We're at
now.
3
We
hours.
got our
We're
mark.
going to go ahead and cut it off. Once again, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. TBTV's The Plug.
Love
We
you.
appreciate you so much. We can't wait to see you on the next
What are
one.
we doing
Next
for
one,
closure?
Alex Moen will
Yes.
be on the show on Friday.
Alex, I fucking love you, dude.
But first, big shout out to our special guest, Zac Conger.
Zac Conger,
thank you so
man.
much for being on the show,
Love you
man. We
so-
love your insight. We love the way you break things down. We dig everything about.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Having you on the show, man. Can't put it
Hey,
enough.
I didn't mean to go so harsh on that second to last song. Just how I felt. I'm sorry.
It's okay, man. I know
And
you don't mean to hurt
and
your
I'm the
feelings.
one that's always like being like, "Hey, let's respect art," and it's all a grain of salt and opinion, and it is. But
It is.
you know,
You
I
know,
just
sometimes
said how I felt about a
sometimes
certain thing.
passion just comes out, man. We understand,
and it
that
really
100%.
does, especially when it comes to hip hop.
We understand that 100%.
which is funny because that's the only genre I've never fucking played.
It's
So.
interestingly
heard you
enough
rap,
because that's
but
the
it's my
one genre
favorite
that you
one.
listen to all the time.
It's literally all I listen
All
to.
right,
every
so
day.
big shout out to
Love y'all.
Ether, Zac Conger, Bob, and the Business Entertainment. This is TBT. The Plug. We can't wait to
so
see you guys on
much.
Friday. Remember, on Monday, we have special guests Nick Lynn and Mark Lynn on the show.
Oh, we got plenty more guests to come up too. We're
Lynn
still
brothers,
building up the schedule.
we're excited about
tune
that
in.
show.
We're posting events so you guys know who's coming.
You'll
up.
have a live interview with real details. I shouldn't say this because we haven't done it yet, but real details on the status of Cole in press start. He's gonna-
Post-coronavirus?
You know, I gotta tell you, man, I have a man crush on Nick and Mark, man. They're just the nicest, most awesome dudes. I have a man crush on them. I'll be honest.
Yes.
They're always so nice and respectful to me. And then when
Nick
I asked
is
them to be
super
on the
cool
show,
as
they were
fuck.
like, Paul,
Mark's actually really
for
cool.
you? Of course. Of course. Nick's got a new album coming out.
Ooh,
Ask him.
nice.
And Mark is busy as fuck, but is somehow going to find some sort of space for me to sit down with him
really
and
nice.
talk with him about shit. Just for our show, and I can't wait for it, man. So once again, big shout out to you, big shout out to everybody in Internet TV land, and thank you so much, Zac Conger, once again.
Hey,
we will see you guys.
Little anecdote before Alex comes on Friday. Alex Moen fucking hit me up right after this whole pandemic began and all that, and he had just hunted and got venison, and he was running around to families in need and stuff and giving them meat, and I was struggling a little bit myself, and he gave me just a pound of some meat, and it was awesome, dude.
It was awesome.
Wow.
A pound of meat.
And that's not going to come up, but like
1 pound.
No, he's just such a good dude. Alex Moen is one
Alex
of the best
Moen is a
people
good dude.
in the
He's
world.
fantastic.
He's great.
And he's just good vibes, awesomeness, and be excited about him being on Friday.
I cannot wait. He's
I
such
cannot
a
wait either, man.
So his
Super
personality is like mine, but times 10. We both have like this ADHD going.
I like what
Put
you
it up,
do
put it
there.
up
Just,
top.
just be ready for it. Anyway,
There you go, right there.
I love y'all.
All right,
thank
so
you,
Zach-
thank you, Paul, Bob, Ethan.
We
Seriously,
100%, we 100% agree
sure
with
I've been
everything
plenty
you've done. We agree with the
obnoxious.
screen right now.
Nice.
We agree with everything that's going on. And Zach doesn't know that till after the show. So, so that being said, we will see you on Saturday.
Peace out, y'all.
Friday.
Friday.
Tune in to TVTV's The Plug. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, y'all.